It's going down like this, motherfucker.
This shit is crazy. The following
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was horn. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bar, bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog need. Slop Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. Yes, he destroy black boys. Yes, he destroy black boys.
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying.
I just left a light in this bitch. I'm finna hit the shop in this shit.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you just with Herman, man.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you just with Herman, man. Now, your mind.
Gotta get a piece of my.
Yes, he destroy black boys.
Joe Visa. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk. Killed the monkey. Threw the bat out the window. Start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
You don't understand. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am.
My eye, plus I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand.
I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deep. You're a philosopher? You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deep.
Dance with me. Hey, dance with me. Oh yeah.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama, and you.
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
Don't know me, want it. Nigga,
I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be out of line.
what's all that noise? What's
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it? Your shit.
Get your hands off of me, shit!
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass.
That's the difference when you're my baby. That's how it is when you.
I think we OD. I think we OD.
My word, can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard. Doing the styles on them like it's common sense. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. I hit the loop juice and pulls up in the. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I hit the loop juice and pulls up in the.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Do that dance, baby, do that dance, let's work it out. Aye, nigga.
To the east. Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only galactic daddy-o welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. Well, I guess that's my cue to come on in and say hello. And as you know, man, I'll tell you, I watched them games yesterday. I drank 3 of them Imperial Stouts. After the game, I was like out. So that's why I didn't come on after the games last night. But, this is the best I felt in days. And I must say, it's been 30 degrees outside all day. This room tends to get hot, so this is why I'm dressed like this. It's cooking in this motherfucker. I got the door open, and so it's 29 degrees right now. So for up here, these furnaces is still, a lot to heat. So the furnace is still gonna go because it's if you stay out too long, it's not too bad. But yeah, but this is the best I felt in days. My wife, she's completely recovered. Now my best friend, he says, they're a little sick over there. So there's something obviously, going around up here. And so we each kind of got a little bit of it. Can't complain. Didn't have it too bad, but back at it and feel good and got up and about and, did our normal thing. This is one of the days that my daughter trained. So this was, my little bit of helping her train. So Rondo Ganja, thank you for joining me. Carrie D, always good to see you. I saw you had your Nick hat. Carrie got a hat like this too. I think she got the gold, the opposite. She's got the gold up here. I think she had the gold and gray, which I like too. So I noticed you had that. So welcome. PJ Allen, what's happening? What's happening? How can an ant let a team with a junkie win tonight? Man, messed up you man. Miles Bridges is a lean drinking nigga. Thank you though. Yeah. That was Miller. Miller was the one that won the game. It was Miller. But Cat was lighting their ass up. But you know, they was saying like they was up almost. Let me see, what was it? When he had 48, they were up. They were like up at one point they was up 17. And then it went down to 10. And then they hit a 3. And it made them down to 7. And so what was that? It was like one, what was it? 107. So it was like 17. So it was like 115. They 114, I think. And they was up by 17. So, you know, but you know, he hit threes. But let's show this. He was hitting threes. Let's show the bully ball we saw tonight. Oh, we had some straight up bully ball tonight, boy. I'm gonna say this too, though. Let me say this. Now you know this was Kobe Day. This is what why they scored so much points. It's Kobe Day. But I'm gonna say this right now. Wemby, they gonna let him score 100. That's what this was about. They're going to let Wemby score 100. I don't know when they're going to do it, but they're going to let him score 100. I'm going to say that now. That's why Wemby went through what he went through today. But it was some bully ball like a motherfucker today. He's like, get the fuck out the way, young fella. I mean, he put it on him. Oh, look at this shit. He put it on him. Where the one where he just pushed him out the way? Look. Where's the one where he pushes the? Oh, here we go. Now he shoot a J on him. Watch the one where he just watch this. Get out the way. He just bogarts that mug out the way. I mean, he just dominated him. He just bogarted him. He just put that work on him. He put that work on Wemby. Take that. He's hitting J's on their ass. Look at this. He's just going to the hole. No effort to stop him. They can't stop him. I want to see that one to go where he elbows him. Watch him elbow the shit out of Wemby and get him out the way. Where's the one where he really pushes the shit out of him? Now he fall away on him here. And I guess this is one. It was another one though where he just yanked it on him. I watched all that game. He was putting in work. He was hustling the whole game. He only hit 1 3. He scored 70 and only hit 1 3. Broke Wilt Chamberlain, because remember, when Wilt scored 100, he was with the Warriors. He was with the Philadelphia Warriors. So that's why it's a record. And then, they had him after the game holding up the paper like Wilt. Yeah, you ain't Wilt, dude. But he put that work in on him. So, but yeah, Cat, they should have won that game. They threw that game away. Oh, and this is what I fucked up my point. It was a point in the game where the announcers was just saying, like, Cat was just shooting bad shots to let him back in the game. Like over and over again, they was letting him shoot bad shots to get him back in the game. I don't know if y'all noticed that. They were shooting bad shots to get him back in the game. So that's what I observed from that game. There was a bunch of bad shots. Yeah, he put that 50 ball on him. A 70 ball on him. And Towns, had a good game too. It was overshine Ant for a change, so that Kobe Day. Kobe Day. Oh, so I'm just drinking water. I drank my beer earlier. I just got a water. So pop them if you got them. I turned off my fan for a second, but to turn that motherfucker back on. And this joint, this is the only time I really smoke. I take edibles, but I'll hit this joint. So smoke them if you want them. Had to smoke and get stuff after a while. Smoking a lot less. we used to put hash like, let me show you how we used to do it. So you would take a pen. So you would get a pen and you put a piece of hash on the pen. And then you would light the hash. You would light the hash and then you put the glass like on an angle. And then you would kind of smoke the hash like that. You know, you'd kind of had a glass and, you know, you had the hash in there and you'd kind of smoke like that. If you didn't have a pipe, it would give you quite the rush. Quite the buzz. Wow. Yeah, man, let me see. I don't know if I got this or not. Let's see if I got this. I wanted to show this shit and I forgot to show this shit the other night. Oh, something. Oh, yeah. So I think that's generic. You know that? Like that plays into because you know PJ sent me, you know, where they show that about Usher and all them. This seems fake. It doesn't seem genuine. You know, as I said on Sly stuff, it seems generic. Again, it's playing into the colors. You know, and as Lobo beautifully said, you know, what did he say? If red and blue get together, it's purple. So still the Super Bowl colors. You know, but I guess, you know, another way to look at it is it's definitely, you know, it's Catholic driven. That's this year. I'm positive of that. Whatever, that's the entity that's eating this year. It's always Shiva. Shiva seems to be locked into American football. So the base god that feeds is Shiva. But on top of this, with all the purple, it turns out to be the Catholics. So does that mean that, the Raven? I mean, does that mean that for Baltimore again? Or San Francisco, you know, San Fran. So what, you know, that some of those could be in play. So that's my only thing about that. Hey, Trill Johnson, what's happening? I'm doing well, a lot better. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. And so that's what that's playing into, though. It's playing into the colors again. You know, is the colors, you know, is that what they showing you every year? But this is what like one thing that people get missed though is again, and we saw this with what was her name? She came out with the red. Katy Perry. Remember Katy Perry came out with the nasty red dragon. She had that outfit. She was like on the big stilts or some shit. I mean, that's who they telling you who getting fed. You know, they in the ritual there. You know, they present you to, and it's whatever the Super Bowl is. It's a Catholic thing, so that's how we're gonna whatever the code is. It's a Catholic code. So could it be Detroit? Could it be the Raven? You know, and then we look at San Francisco, earthquake. You know, and we know the rarity of letting new teams win. I mean, that seems to be a predictor more than anything else. Is they rarely want new teams to win. And the odds of the Lions, you know, not only going, but winning, I don't know that those odds is all that great. I don't know. Damn, it's showing me I done lost some money or something. Oh, wow. So the dollars fell to 91 cents to the euro. Oh, that's a big dip. Wow. So if you've got that money, you got some money tied in currency and you're about to travel, don't travel over there. I believe it'd be the Embid 70 points was another Kobe ritual. Yeah, 18 years to the day he scored. Absolutely. 70 on Toronto, and Kobe has ties to Philly. Yeah, that's a good point too. That's a good point. Kobe is from Philly. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna start the deaths. Okay. Start the deaths. There's this cat here, Scott Manners, but he ain't the big one today. You know, Scott Manners, 68, talent agent who co-founded Artist and Representative. He dies of 68. He died, ALS. He had ALS. Again, he took a taste. 78 ain't that long ago. That's 40 years ago, but I guess he was in Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band. He co-founded Boutique Agency. Okay. But that ain't the one. That ain't the one that it wants to feed. Let's see. The one it wants to feed on is this one. This is the one the beast wants to feed on right here. This is the one that the beast is feeding on right here. Dexter Scott King, son of the Reverend Martin Luther King. Now remember, when they attacked King's family, people don't really remember they attacked his family. They not only killed him, they killed his brother. What is MLK? What was his brother's name? Because he had initials too. And then they killed his mama in a church. People, you remember they killed King's mom in a church. Already, one of the children died. One of their other children died. Let me see. The one that was in the movie. She was in the movie Yolanda, I think. Whoops. But Dexter Scott King, the third child of Reverend Martin Luther King Carrata, died Monday after a violent battle with prostate cancer. King was named after Atlanta Church, where his father served as pastor and was 7-year-old when the civil rights movement icon was assassinated. So if he was 7, I was only 8. I was in 2nd grade, I think. According to King Center. King went on to attend Morehouse like his daddy, chairman of the King Center and president of the King Estate. He's devoted to perpetrating his father's legacy and protecting the intellectual property left behind. That means the bread they can make off him. I think they sold his likeness too. The King shock is devastating. So, you know, and you know what? Like this cat didn't even get a real taste. But, you know, put out there. You know, sometimes you got to pay for even the legacies. I'm sorry, but here's the cat. Let me see, they probably got more pictures of him. Yeah, I think this sister's dead too. This sister passed too. This sister passed as well. Yeah, I think this one's still alive, but I think this one, because she was in a movie and then she passed after the movie. She had a bit part and then she passed. One of them was in movies. And you know, this right here had to be real hard, you know. 7 years. And the way it went down, you know, somebody shot your daddy down. Like militarily, you know, I maybe think of it mentally. And again, you know, this is a time of terror. The 60s was the time of terror. And what did you expect? I mean, we have assassins all around the world in the 60s. We have the Cold War going on. We have a proxy war going on in Vietnam. And still troops in Korea, still troops in Germany. So these was times of the killers. So it ain't stopped. You know, it ain't stopped. Hey, Lorenzo, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah, it hasn't stopped, y'all. I mean, this is a harsh reality. And he was there with him, you know? And that's the cat that passed. Like they up there with Reagan. Look at his face. I know they ain't really want to be with Reagan, but Reagan trying to get some nigga votes here, so. I like you, coloreds. Oh, look at that. See, got to sit next to Willie Bill. Damn, Willie Bill on the outside. Why they got Willie Bill on the outside? Who's it say? Clinton, Kennedy. Okay, both King sons. Both the King sons. Oh, this is Ethel Kennedy. Okay. Ethel Kennedy, his wife. Okay, and the Irish Prime Minister, huh? Okay, you got to rub elbows with them. So did he really get a taste? Did he really get a taste? See, he's more in the Mason stance. You see? That's more Mason. You see how all of them gave the Mason? Yeah, it looks like your hand over your heart, but they all holding that Mason shit. That's Mason. See? Look at him. They ain't up on your heart. Your heart ain't down here. Yeah, they're all showing their Masons. So he got his hand more on his heart. But look, his hand's low. See? Low. Masons. Okay, this must be the Olympics in 96. Okay. I was in my 30s. What is, we support Judge Joe Brown? Okay, somebody supports Joe Brown. What is this? Somebody's getting some shit. Pelosi. Oh, okay, there he is. He's rubbing shoulders with him. So is this really a real taste? I mean, did he have a real taste of power, a real taste of fame? But they got rid of him. What did you say, Lorenzo? It's iconic. Where's my cigar? It's ironic that MLK's son passes away just the other day. They said MLK looked like was at the Ravens game. Yeah. Yes, they did. Let's see. My pecking. Let's see. This don't really look like him to me, though. This don't look like him. I don't think. I saw smaller pictures. I don't really think King was a really little dude. I ain't think he looked like him. El Reborn Amarun Khan, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. So I don't know, y'all. What y'all think? I don't think he really looked that much like King. Even I saw the picture where he's turned. I don't know if there's any other pictures here. Let's see. Is there any other pictures? I don't think they're going to show him. Yeah, that's this one. No, I saw another picture. I saw a picture where he's standing the other way. He's standing facing the stands. There's another okay, do y'all think that looks alike? You think that looks like? Easily, cloned. But do y'all think that looks alike? There's another picture out here though. This ain't the one I saw another picture. Yeah, I saw a picture of facing with the field at their back. Huh. Yeah, I saw a picture of the field, another picture where his face wasn't turned. The other picture, he's looking forward. But I don't know. But yeah, that is kind of the way they play it. That is kind of the way they play it. He looks like his son a little bit. I don't know. That other picture, I don't know. I didn't even think that other picture I saw. Huh. I don't know. Stating King, yeah. I mean, King is like, even getting into his story and his daddy's story, I mean, it's very complicated story. I forgot to get my medicine. It's quite a complicated story how, King's daddy, in the 30s, in the 1930s, Michael King, who was the daddy, went over to Germany and he started studying, they gave him it probably was like heavily initiated him. And that was, and Michael King Jr. was a child prodigy. So, he graduated high school, 14? I think he graduated high school 14. I think he got his bachelor's like 16. I think he had his master's. I mean, this dude, he was a doctor. He had a doctorate in theology. This cat, so he goes over there, and I mean, he meets with some people that you wouldn't expect. This minister from Atlanta or Birmingham, you wouldn't expect him to meet with the people he met with. If you do a deep research and actually see, what his itinerary was and who he met with, you wouldn't think that he would garner who he met with. You can look that up. So he's a child prodigy, and this is when the FBI starts their folder on him. Once his name is changed, they kept track of him. I mean, and listen to that dirty shit. You listen to that shit where he's hitting some skins and they taping it. And J. Edgar Hoover was sending it to his wife, and J. Edgar Hoover hated him so much because J. Edgar Hoover was passing as a European, and he was like, "I'm betraying these people, and y'all ain't gave me no award. You should give me an award for betraying them." Michael King, smart guy before the TV show. Well, yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, that's who is. That's old. That his name was Michael. That came out years ago. Let me see if that other picture is up. Because that picture, no, they're not showing the other picture. There's a picture of them with the field behind their back. Yeah, they're not showing that one. Yeah, huh. That's the one I saw this morning. It's another picture, and I don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah, they're not showing that one. This is the only one they're showing. Let's see, is that something different? Let's see. Oh, this is just a full picture. This ain't. I mean, this is the full picture of him. This ain't the. I saw another picture. This ain't the other. It's a picture of him standing up. Yeah, it's a picture of them standing up. So this is the full picture. I had starter in this style. I think I had the Eagles or Raiders in that style. But that's the full picture. I don't know. I don't think I would. I don't know about that. I mean, are we saying, maybe a clone? King was a small dude. He was a really small dude. So, but yeah. I mean, that all does. That's a mocking. Looking at the pictures of the guy look like him is definitely a mocking. And that's the way we look at it. And that's what they do. They mock the fans. They're like, and so, we got the championship weekend and the week starts off with this kind of ritual. The week starts off with this person and his death. So, yeah. So that's 2 people, and we're not even looking. That's 2 people so far. Okay, no, I can't count him. I think we counted him. Let's see. I think we counted him already. No, this is okay. Here we go. Another one. I guess I didn't count him. David Merge, Dawn of the Dead Star, 77, who played a helicopter pilot turned zombie, and Dawn of the Dead is 70. He died. So again, a bit part guy. Documentary making of recalled going through his head before filming. Being the zombie was something I could just grab onto. I sat there for weeks and weeks watching all these people coming up with their zombie. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I had to come up with something that was distinctive enough. So I thought, okay, now what happens to this guy? He gets bit in the neck. He's bit in the leg. He's shot in the arm. So basically the zombie's image came out of wounds that he received. Okay. So that's 3. He got a taste. That's what we say. He got a taste. And so the beast that's 3. So that's 3 so far. Huh. Check this out. Football card of first melanated ball player breaks record. A football card showing a player believed to be the first brother in professional sports sold for a record, is it 2,600 lira? Arthur Warrington, originally from Ghana, signed full-time for the Rothingham Town in 1889 and after moving to England. Oh, this is soccer. Okay. This is soccer. He's the first brother that played soccer. Okay. So this brother was able to play soccer. Let's see. Okay, so this was a lot of bread. This is a statue of Arthur Watton. Okay, this is a statue of him. Damn. Sent for as well as football career. He's also a good cricket and cyclist, and he was a good athlete. Wow, okay. Blue plaque was veiled, ambassador, despite professionally, had his supplements by running 2 Rothingham pubs. He ran 2 clubs and played professionally. He retired in 1902 and died in 1930 in a unmarked grave. They provided a headstone in 97. Okay. And, okay, this is soccer, so I'm sorry. I thought it was Fritz Pollard or some shit. This reminds me of the 21 MSC between the Packers, Buccaneers. The Packers' former general manager passed the same week as that game. Good point. Watching the game and the success Baker had, it was just making me just look back at that Freddie Scott. And I want to say that was 82 or 83. Because I know when Rob got drafted by the Lions, Freddie Scott was in that camp the next year. Rob didn't make it, but he got drafted in the supplemental draft. So that, yeah, because I had another year, 2 years of eligibility actually then. So yeah, but that's what I was thinking. Freddie Scott, the Lions would have made the championship that year, and Freddie Scott dropped a touchdown. I mean, he just clearly dropped the touchdown. So that's what I was seeing, and I wonder if that still can be in play, But it would be outside the norm for the Lions to make it all the way. Do they owe the Lions? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because again, like they just showed, they had to show the map of all the different championships. The NFL championships still count. Not the AFL championships, but the NFL championships from the ones since when the league started, that still counts. And you still have to count those teams of having at least one championships as the Cardinals, and so did the Lions. The Lions won, I think, in 53, and then they won in 55 and 56, or 56 and 57. They won the title before the Fords bought into them. Because once the Fords bought into them, they was losers then on. And I think their team, when he bought the Lions, I think he was the first cat to pay $1 million. And look what's bigger now. The Lions are Ford. I mean, their shares of Ford. The Lions is not on the quite same par, but in a way it is. I mean, the brand of the Lions for $1 million investment. The Bears was even better because back then it was only $100 to buy into the NFL. That was for Hallis's family, the Klansky's, Hallis's. That was one of the best deals of all time. $100. Even the AFL buy-ins, like getting the Bengals. I think he said the buy-in for the AFL teams was only $1,000. And the Vikings was going to be in the AFL, and literally the NFL did some espionage and went in there and snuck and signed a contract with the Vikings. But the Vikings were brought to life to play in the AFL. And, they saw the problem of establishing a team in the Midwest with the NFL not being part of it. And they literally went in there overnight and signed the Vikings away from the NFL. So 3 people so far. 3 people so far. Let's see if it's anybody else. Dan Quinn. Who wants to hire Dan Quinn now? Okay. I'm just going to show you, another mocking. Like, this is another mocking, too. That they're telling you is ritual. 25 bright stars who died before their time. This is a mocking. This is just showing you we're in the ritual time of year. That's why this story like this exists. So you can go back, they can show you who was sacrificed, 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 show you who was sacrificed. It's a reminder, is fame what it really is? Is it worth having a taste? Because, if you're lucky and you had a taste. Oh, here we go. Number 4, right here. Number 4. Benedict Fitzgerald, co-writer of The Passion of Christ, passes at 74. This is a day-old story. Benedict Fitzgerald, the co-owner of Mel Gibson's The Passion of Christ, has died. He was 74. It was best known for his work on Gibson's, the highest grossing Christian film, as well as the highest grossing independent film of the time. His other credits, screenplay for John Huston, Wise Blood. That movie sucked. We don't care. Okay, so he got a taste. And now he's food for the beast. Food for the beast. So that's 4. That is 4 people. Oh, food for the beast. The Lions championships was 35, 52, thank you, and 57. Thank you. Thank you. I got it mixed up, not 53, 35. Thank you. So yeah, then that counts. When they go championships, that counts. So we have to put that, and the same with the Cardinals. I think the Chicago Cardinals won 1 or 2 as well. So those count. And so we're figuring, yes, these teams haven't won a Super Bowl, and I've said before, I doubt it's very unlikely that they would that they would let them pass. Now I'm gonna speak a little bit about the Buffalo. D Leon, I followed your advice. I tried to go with because I changed my pick. Because I had picked Kansas City when I came on here before, and then when I posted the Bills. So you let me down, baby. I was going off your energy. Because you had the Bills till the wheels fell off. Well, the wheels fell off. I'll say this. This is the year of no defense. This is like nobody can cover anybody, it seems like, anymore. And like Detroit's defense is like, if they don't get them up front, them mugs back there, I don't know. They were vulnerable to the same type of plays. I really didn't think the Lions really opened up their offense that much. I thought the scheme technically that the Buccaneers was running was kind of getting to them. But they gave you a hint in the beginning. They gave you a hint. Check this out. For those of you who watched the game, remember when they said this. I don't know if y'all remember this, but I'm going to show you the outcome, but I'm going to show you what they said before the game. And before the game, Troy Aikman said that there was one man that they feared. He said there was one man that they feared that could be a game breaker. And that's this brother here. I mean, his speed seemed to make a difference against a scheme that was pretty successful for most of the game. But again, look at that move. Boom. Okay, he waited too long. You see what I'm saying? He waited too long to respond. He would have came up. He wouldn't have waited there. If you really want to get him, you don't wait. But this is who they were saying would make the difference. And Troy Aikman said it early in the game that he would make a difference. So, that was kind of a tell. But they ain't stopping people. Now, I wasn't that impressed, and Debo Sanders didn't play. I wasn't terribly impressed with San Francisco's play either. Not terribly. I mean, they played a team that, kind of undermanned a little bit. Underexperienced, I would say, for the moment. At least putting the script together. I think they will rerun the first game of the season. KC Detroit. KC gets revenge off just like what the Warriors had. That's a good point. Very well. A lot of people had the Bills. I was for a minute. Then by game time, I came to my senses. And I wrote that down when I was sick too. I had no excuse, but it was like no real thought. I was like, I just got to put it out there because I just didn't really feel up to, talking at that moment. Cats running in and out and shit. They ain't used to me having the door open. Yeah, so sorry about that. Oh, I want to see. Let me see if I can show this shit. Let's see. Let's see if I can show this shit here. I don't know if I can find out. I forgot to show this shit the other night. It got passed to me. I don't know if I can show it now either. Let's see. Nah, it's not. It didn't come. Oh, I can. No, I didn't put it over there either. No, it's not there either. I don't think this will. It'll give it to me, but it won't give it to me. Okay, I don't know what that is. Okay, nah, I was gonna show some shit, but I can't show it. That's all right. Yeah. So you could be right, but what if they let Mahomes go down again? Because remember what they did to Jim Kelly? I mean, that Norwood shit was costly because Jim Kelly did it. Jim Kelly marched him down the field, and he had an easy kick. And we've been seeing kicks. Remember Michigan's kick hit the crossbar and went in. We saw some kicks just hit the crossbars, remember, and bounce out. So that's always a possibility. And did you guys see where the NFL is getting sued for the first playoff games in Kansas City? It was so cold. Now they're saying that they should have did what Buffalo did. But again, with these schedules, it's kind of hard to do that. So, let me see. Let's see how that money did today. No, it ain't just that shit. Where's the good shit at? So, what is the stock market? Oh shit, the stocks is. Oh shit, damn. That's pretty good. That's real goddamn good. Okay, I didn't know it was like that. Right the fuck on. Okay. Right the fuck on. I'm thinking one thing and I'm like, shit, these motherfuckers like, Tobe, this is hit. All right, gold is $22,032 for an ounce. So technically, this ring weighs an ounce. That ain't even the diamonds. It's just the ring. No, I think this one. No, half ounce. I'm sorry. Half ounce, I think. I don't know. I'd have to weigh it again. I think 25 grams. Yeah, I think and I got it fitted, so I think it was like 25 grams, and then when they reduced it 2 grams, I think. I'd have to go get the scale. So, yeah, gold is what is silver? And, silver's a slow thing to watch, but it's pretty solid. Silver's 22, and one time it got up to 30, so silver's solid. Anything over 20 with silver is solid. See, is Nike in here? Because Nike, I'll tell you, when they release them shoes or the shoes fail, Nike stocks takes a hit. Oh, and Nike did some layoffs too. I don't know if y'all caught that. Nike ended up doing some layoffs. But when their shoes don't hit, man, Nike, you see their stock dwindles. I had never really paid attention to that, but I was like, listening to some people, it's like, yeah, watch when them shoes don't sell like they think. And, don't have to resell. And then they be doing shit like destroying the boxes. You can't resell them like this. Like even like you buy them from the outlet, they want to tear the box up. Like, if it's that serious, you can print them boxes. That ain't hard to print boxes. Shit, they can't stop you from printing Nike boxes because they don't know you might be putting your own Nike shoes in them. Oh, I broke the box out. Got another one fabricated. All right, so gold is still solid, y'all. Gold is still solid. I did not release it. Yeah, I don't think. Let's see here. Maybe. No, I don't think I can. Let me see. I'm gonna switch bases a little bit. Switch up a little bit, dude. I forgot to show something about. Let me see. A researcher says what's happening. I don't matter anything to you, Taylor. Researcher, what's happening? I don't. What? Oh, here we go. I think they will rerun. Okay, I see. Okay, I see what he got. A lot of people on here in a bit. Okay. Researcher, what's happening? Thank you for joining me. What's happening? I don't matter anything. But Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, the Super Bowl because she's starting her tour before the Super Bowl. That's a good point. And, all publicity is good publicity. It's getting a lot of momentum. I mean, the further the Chiefs go, the further she's going to ride that momentum too. So, and it makes him, and if you really understand how power and relationship goes, right now, he's just as famous as she is in a way because he has the world's attention. I mean, that's kind of how power works. So right now, she likes being around him where everybody ain't, paying attention to her. Like, you go to her show and, you see what I'm saying. Right now, the world's paying attention to him. And his season is, way shorter. She can go all year round. So as a power dynamic, you dig? It's like power likes power, Power likes power. I thought I could show that, but I'm bummed. Yeah, I bought another hat, but it was too big. And I don't like big Godfather hats too. It was kind of hard to tell in the ad. But like okay, I can show. I think I've showed this many times. I don't like the big ones. I like the smaller. What is it? Hausberger hats. I like the smaller ones. And so when you look at this one, you see how it's not as big on my head. It's smaller on my head. And the one that I bought, that motherfucker was too big. It said, because I wear 7 3/8. Matter of fact, this motherfucker I think is 7.5, so it's a little big, but it was the only one like it. And this is probably my favorite Timberwolf hat. And this hat, not only was it too big, it was made big. Like I had an orange one like that, but one of my first Godfather hats was made like that one, where it was just too big. And so I was happy to send it back. And that was cool about it. It's like, okay. I mean, I wish they could have told me because it like they had like inside, dress hats. They have where you can tighten it up inside, and then they have spacers they can put in it to give you a little tighter fit. Shit, I was like, I put 2 spacers on both sides, and the hat still wasn't fitting. So I was like, yeah, this one doesn't fit. But they're good about it, get my bread back. And, it's like all you do is, you start the process, the return process. They give you a barcode. You take that motherfucker back to the post office. They do the barcode, slap it, take it away. Now, I bought a box. So now I got 3 of these boxes. And my most expensive hat ain't really been in the box. So my most expensive hat is now in that top box. So box was $15. I didn't mind buying it. And then the other one, I got 2 hats in there, so. But this is a fun time to dress. I love dressing in the winter. It's the funnest time. And today wasn't really so cold, so I wore the lamb skin. Walking around with the lamb skin, soft. Oh, yours is 7 5/8. I think that's what PJ wears, 7 5/8. Ever since they get together, it's been more commercials and getting more media exposure. Yeah. But yours, I think that's what PJ, that hat he gave me, I think that's what it is. And that has really good when I have it on here. But I can kind of wear it out too. I can cock it and it'll fit. But it's like deals. But I can get this hat for $10, $15. It's a little big. It's a little big. But it's doable, it's doable. So, and now I'm talking about clothes. Let me kind of show you something, especially how like quality of stuff is made. And I showed these boots before, and I mean these boots have to be from 14 or 15. I've had these since 14, and you can tell I ain't really worn them but a few times. I mean, look at the tread. But these are Doc Martens. And if these shoes were really broken in, and this is their attempt at a tennis shoe, basically, there's a lot of padding in there, and it really will mold to your foot. This is the way they adhere all this together it's a superior, it's a superior method of connecting the boot to the leather. And I mean, again, look how, this is nothing but, what I call this shit? Mink oil. That's all I did is put mink oil on them. These been in the closet, dust on them. But look at this, look at what you're getting here. And I ain't selling these. I'm giving these to, one of the great nephews. But I only bring that up. I gave my son my Timbs, but I got these. And these are 1460s LTT or something like that. But they've got the, you got to have something that when it's minus. But these are super comfortable. Extra cushion in there. Look at that shit. This is superior to what Timberland, the way they connect the boot to the sole is superior method than what Timberland does. This is Goodyear. And this is a superior way to put a boot together than what the Timberland would do. Now, another company that does the same thing, again, is Red Wing. I mean, this is almost a handmade boot that comes from a company that's not that far from here. And I've had these Maybe this is my third winter. Did I buy these here? Yeah, I bought these here. So these, I've had these for 2 years. But again, just mink oil. Superb fit and finish. But yeah, these boots are so comfortable. And they're not heavily, there a lot of them are platform, but I mean, these are so comfortable. And these cost me, they sent me money back. These were like $260 at Dick's. Check this out. These boots were $269 at Dick's. I end up getting these boots for $130. I think that's what it ended up costing me because they sent me money back. They sent me money back when I got these. They sent me money back. I thought I paid $145, but these were $270. And I got them for $135. So this is a great super deal. Super comfortable. 1460 LTT series. So just wanted to show that. I wanted to show my hat, but I sent it back. So I had it the other night and forgot to mention it. Oh, yeah. You would say that's what I thought. Oh, they're definitely warm, man. Like I put my little toe things in them and they're perfectly comfortable. My winterized 11s, the left boot is hard to put on. That's like that, to get that sock in there, it's hard to put on. Like I can't really go over to anybody's house and wear them because I really have to sit down somewhere because I can't just slip that shoe on. I love them. They're comfortable. My inserts are in them, but they're just so hard to put on. And this time of year, you go somewhere unless you're going out. You taking your boots off and on. So to go visit people and have to, like we went and looked at houses and here I am, can't get this damn boot on my foot. So the winterized 11s, the left one is hard for me to put on. So now, I am somewhat constrained, but it's hard. Yeah. So, but that's what you need up here. You've got to have, like, I have a pair just like, I got a pair of Nike, the more newer duck boots, there's more rubber on the bottom, leather on top, just for light snow work or, because get package and stuff. And let me tell you, just like something that just really don't make any sense. So the Amazon people, and again, we getting stuff, the neighbors getting stuff. The Amazon people, when they drop off packages, they take a picture of it. I literally watched this dude, he spoke to me, dropped the package off in front of my crib, took a picture of it, and jumped back in his ride. I walk up there, and I'm looking at the shit, and it's my neighbor's shit. In the picture is the address of the house. Do you see what I'm saying? And I mean, they do it all the time. Like days in a row, we'll be getting her stuff. And these people take pictures of it to show they delivered it. And it has the address. And it's like, I really was looking at this cat like, how dumb can you really be? Like, you don't even see what's in front of you. Like, I really think that he perceived, because I have dyslexia. I have a form of dyslexia. It's shit that I understand how shit switches. When you're trying to do a lot of, at the same time, I understand how shit can switch. Oh, but I don't get that part. I don't get that part. So, yeah. Hey, Dr. Sinister, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming. Yeah, so yeah. Oh, yeah, man, I tell you, I really feel so much better. Yeah, like something got my stomach sick when it started. I don't know what it was. Like I said, when I was walking at the Mall of America, something hit me in my stomach. And all of a sudden, I had stomach issues. And then I fever for days. Like not sick, but fever. Like pores open fever. And not very much, but man, it bothered me 4 or 5 days. This is like probably the first day I didn't wake up with a fever. So I don't know what was shot into me. I don't know. I can see Mahomes winning 4 Super Bowls at most, just like Montana. I remember Montana played his final years as a Chief and finished with 4 too. That's a good point. That is a good point. They weren't letting him gonna get any more. And the way they did Cleveland, with the first dude that, knocked the ball out of the running back's hand. Like only one team practiced that. It had never really been done before. But, they'll show you a highlight. Well, they were practicing that in the preseason and, a couple times during the year. And okay, so the film you just showed me of them talking about it and the film of them doing it in games before this playoff game, nobody had access to. Nobody looked at one film of them before Biner fumbled on the one and that was just as bad as Russell Wilson. Biner fumbling on the one where they've been doing this, a few times during the year. So it's something you'd practice and expect. That was a perfect, and it was a lot of people exposed. Thumbs up mean I'm a fumble. Remember, they would get him hand signs. You'd catch him. I'm about to fumble. Now I think they got them little earbuds in there. So I think them earbuds. Well, I see you feeling better. That's good. Yeah. Oh, definitely, man. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, yeah. I like last night. I was really drunk. I was sitting there, and them 12%. Them beers is 12%. So I'm taking the gummy, watching the first game. Because I would. Yeah, I think I drank 2 beers the first game, and I thought I was going to drink 2 beers the second game. Yeah, that second game came on, and I got to drinking that third beer. The second game went off, whatever little videos I made, and man, I was sitting there. And when you drink too much, and the dizzy will, you can't nod off because the drunk dizzy is there. You be like, oh, okay, that dizzy's there. I can't nod off, And then finally, the dizzy goes away, and I took a nice nap. That was probably the best sleep I've had in days. I took a nice nap, and when I woke up, it's like I wasn't buzzed or nothing either. So I was like, man, I'm going to bed. So that's what I did. Yeah. I mean, they're told just like a video game. They've got earbuds in there just like a video game. Drop the ball, catch the ball. Make a penalty. I mean, it's like that. Like I caught that guy. I made a video where the announcer says the script that the coach has written. I mean, again, they try to mock, but because we're intelligent viewers, we're not the dumb viewers that they used to think. I mean, yes, they fool, and I'm gonna tell you one thing that they've shown you that they're going to do, but the national championship is already doing it for college. Been doing it. Is they charged you for playoff games. They charge for playoff games. So I don't know, but eventually you're going to have to pay for the Super Bowl. It ain't going to be free. That's what they're showing you. Or whatever package the Super Bowl is going to be part of, they're going to make you pay for the Super Bowl. It was already 2 playoff games, wasn't it? 2? Yeah, 2 playoff games they made you pay for. I got the shit, so I don't care, but I'm just saying this is good. They want the Super Bowl to be almost its own channel, probably. I mean, that's probably the kind of, deal it's going to make. You're going to get the Super Bowl channel to get the Super Bowl. Yeah, my prediction, Wemby's going to score 100, and the Super Bowl's going to have its own channel one day. The Super Bowl channel be the only way you can get it. You got to pay for it year round to get the big game every year. Don't be surprised if it turns to that. I'm looking at my arms. You can tell I ain't played pickleball. And I still haven't had any heard about my specialist about my arm. My arm's better. I ain't punched nobody or nothing. I ain't really lifted shit. See some shit I can lift. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can lift a boot. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this don't weigh that much, but okay. The damn cat's coming in and out of here. It's funny, my old cat, that mug won't come upstairs. Because if he comes downstairs, the younger cat thinks that's playing. And my old cat, he's 10 years old, and Mug is like, hey, I don't really want to box anymore. I just want to chill and sleep and eat and crap. And lay on my dad's lap. Chiefs Dolphins was on Peacock, but the ratings supposedly ain't do well. You know what though? I don't know, Lorenzo, if I believe that. They would come out and say that because, again, this is saying they're not with it. I bet it did better than what they thought. Because a lot of people got Peacock. I mean, if you wanted to watch the Continental, I'm trying to think. It's a lot of series on Peacock, so this thing's squeezing me tight. Feeling this one. Let's see. So I don't know, but I watched it, but yes, I don't know if I would believe that the ratings did bad. They made money on it. They made money on it. They made all them commercials on it too. So they made money on the game, and that's people that probably didn't have it before, might have got it then. So they made money on it, but it's more to come. Like I mentioned before, the national championship in college been pay-per-view. And I don't mean exclusive pay-per-view, but I mean you had to have cable to watch it. You didn't have cable, you couldn't watch that shit. And that's the cool thing. Like YouTube TV is really affordable. Oh, did anybody else game go out? Some other people's games went out again. Like both times, games went out on people. One dude, like the week before, Michigan people got hit. AT&T. The one brother said Mike lives in Tennessee, maybe Nashville, and he said his cable went out during the game. So I don't know what he had, but AT&T was people with that was hitting Michigan with AT&T. Some of the Lions game went out. I'll say though, the Lions on offense, yeah, they can give it to people. They really can. It's hard to stop their run. They got great run blockers, and the schemes they put in there, the way and it's like what I like is you can't really rush him all the time because you don't want what is his name, St. Brown. You don't want him 1-on-1. I mean, you want everybody. One thing that we've been seeing, most teams have been playing man unless it's all out blitz. But it's no, I'll take that back. Most people been playing umbrella zone. Almost every team, what we've been seeing is a type of umbrella zone, which again, that can benefit the offense. You run inside routes, you run seams, cover twos, seam passes. And Detroit loves to run deep curls, like 18, 19-yard curls. And that's a hard play to defend, but again, it take you a while to get that deep. So, but they're the DBs, I don't know. Now, the safety, the safety's bad. Oh, and that one, the safety, and that linebacker 47, the safety 32, and that other rookie, that linebacker. There was some pretty dudes that can cover a lot of ground and make problems. So Detroit matches up well with San Francisco. And again, a team that runs is used to being run on. And them blocking schemes, in the summer, they faced a running team, which was their team. So I would say schematically wise, the Lions match up very well. Very well. Again, Goff ain't mobile at all. So any collapsing of the pocket, he going down. And so San Francisco has a pretty good line too. So I'm gonna just pick the Lions just in the passion pick the Lions. That's all. And I'm definitely going with the Ravens. I love Patty Mahomes though. I do. I've talked many times. Regardless of what he's turned into, his dad was a nice guy. Really was a nice guy. And whatever. Well, what is it? I think the dad, Brock Purdy, daddy. Was it Brock Purdy's daddy? And Mahomes was on Pittsburgh together? Is that the story? Brock Purdy's dad and Pat Mahomes Sr. played on Pittsburgh together. It's one of the other players, but I think it's Purdy. I think his daddy played with Pat, and Pat was a pitcher. And I've said before, his dad, one of the best athletes I've ever met. I mean, the dude could throw a fastball 100 miles an hour. And I'm saying he dunked on Tyrone, and Pat is what, 6'3 and a half maybe? And Tyrone's 6'8. And he dunked on Tyrone so hard. Tyrone could play, but Pat, great athlete. Nice dude. And, to raise the son that, again, there's great odds when a child is raised in that environment that the child is going to aspire to do it. And, as great as his dad was, and I mean, we don't know, like his dad was an all-state quarterback too. His dad could have played quarterback at Texas, Pat could have played quarterback at Texas before Vince Young. I think Pat's older than Vince Young, before Vince Young, I think. So I have nothing bad to say about Patty. I understand how fame is. He's been raised in this since as a boy. He's seen it. And so I can look at as an admirer of a father being in their son's life. He ain't stayed with the mama forever, but he was in his son's life, supporting his son. And then for the son to turn out the way he's turned out, I mean, it's something I'm right on for them. Now, yes, the world that he sold his son into, he understood that. And I think at one point they was able to look at it and say, do you want to join this? And obviously he said yes. And that's kind of how it works. But I like Lamar. But you know, this is similar, and I've talked about this before. Remember when the Eagles had a chance to get the touchdown and they got stopped? They did the tush push and got stopped. Remember, Titans, Ravens, they need a first down and Lamar runs sideways. Do y'all remember that play? To lose to the Titans and not get the first down. He doesn't go forward, he runs sideways. Hurst did the same thing. And the dude grabbed Hurst by the helmet and they didn't call a penalty. But Hurst did the same thing. He didn't follow the pile, he went sideways. Like, you know, it was a gang of dudes. It was a gang of Somalian young teenagers. And they was walking around pushing old people off bikes. And one old dude rolled by him, and that's why I wonder if this part was a skit. But like the old dude didn't even open his legs up. The old dude just fell down sideways. I don't know. That's kind of what it reminds me of. You know, he went sideways instead of going forward. Like he didn't want to get it. So, I did get something else new. Wow, yeah. You know, I'm always about it. You know, what I love, and I don't, you know, and you know, my passion is you know, the Omen. And this was a book I didn't have, and so I looked this one up. It's an old book from '69, so it's very well dated. And you know, they don't hate to say these people is niggas. You know, they hate to say it. It's interesting the way they say it, but it's some pictures in here. Again, when this book was released, a lot of this stuff wasn't cleaned up and polished. It's interesting how well it's cleaned up. Like I'm looking at some of this stuff and it's way cleaner than what I'm looking at it. Like you can see how some of this stuff they've even restored. I would just say they've restored some of this, but some of this is in its rawest forms. And it was some pictures of, you know, and I've showed before, like these are the first two pictures of anything. These two on this side. On this side. These are called the Vortex Axe, but these were the first two found in the early 1800s. They didn't even know what this belonged to. A dude just had it in his collection. I think it's this one on the bottom. So they didn't even know it was something distinctive and older. And yeah, I've got color pictures of this stuff. So it's interesting. They took these pictures in black and white. And then this is my guy in the back. I've got him in my shelf. Recreation of, they call it the wrestler, but he's a ball player. Sliding to hit the ball. This is the oldest representation of an athlete in the Americas. So it's always, you know, good stuff. You know, it's some things that I knew, some things that extra pictures, you know, reference. So reference is always good. Let me see if the one shows the one picture in here. Let me see of this. Yeah. See, on head one, You can see this was taken not shortly after the damage was repaired. You see how much damage they repaired it. This was taken shortly after the damage. Because they tried to destroy some of these. And the guy, got credit for, saving most of this stuff. But just clearly shows the damage. And, it's hard to break basalt. So, this is what I study. Huh. Oh, let me see if I can find this. Yeah. I probably can. Just the nerve, if I can find this, just the nerve of things. Yeah. All right. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. They don't give me the one I want. All right, but I mean, just how insulting. Now you talking about trying to change history. Check this out. This is how they try to change history. So in 1950, Jim Thorpe was voted the best athlete from 1900 to 1950. And so they got this Burt Lancaster, who is not melanated at all. But again, now think about it like this. What if a person didn't really research nothing but this? And they thought that this European, and then the story says he's a melanated American Indian, native, whatever you want to call him. But they're not going to think that seeing him. There's a picture, and it didn't come through, but there's a picture of them together. And it's like the way Jim Thorpe is looking at him, and it ain't this. Let me see if this activates the other picture. But look at this. What do you think he's, when he looks at him and sees this European playing him, what do you think that does to his dignity? And they had to pay him so much for his life story or whatever, and he doesn't see a person that looked like him. They put a European instead. I mean, this is beyond insulting. Yeah, and the one I'm looking for, they ain't got in here. Then, of course, the shaming, making him dress like that and shit. He's a football player. Why would he ever need to dress like that? That's the stereotype. Yeah, I can't find the other picture, y'all. There's another picture where Jim Thorpe is just looking at him like, y'all gotta be kidding me. This motherfucker playing me? I mean, look at this. This is supposed to be, what do you think? This look like, what this remind me of, other than the hair? It remind me of when Hitler would show them Nazis. Them Nazis would be standing up like this. When they did that one big Nazi movie that woman produced or she directed, this is what that screams to me. This don't scream a real American. This is the immigrant. And, again, if you don't search deeply, yeah, they don't have that picture of them too. Let me see. Yeah, they don't have that other picture. Because that picture said it all. The way he looking at that motherfucker like, man, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. That look he give him like, man. Now you talking about erasing history. How hard, would it have been? You think people in the internet, let me see it. Oh, this makes me think about this. I'm going to tell you, if they make this movie, See if I can spell it right. It's gonna be one of the best westerns of all. Oh yeah, right here, man. Here we go. If this movie gets made, hey, they talking about made. They said the people from Yellowstone is about to make this movie. Quanah Parker is a bad motherfucker, but the Comanches was some bad motherfuckers. Now, they definitely had that Genghis Khan. I mean, you read them, it's obvious that these people come from Genghis Khan's people. I mean, it's that same life of living in the sea. They try to tell you, you know, they didn't have horses before, you know, the Spanish brought them. No, that's not true. It was always horses in America. They own some bullshit. But Quanah Parker, this is a good read. And let's see if I can get, let me see if they'll show that picture of his mama. And this is actually Quanah Parker and his mama. Oh, this is Cynthia Parker and her daughter. This is his mama. Now, his mama was kidnapped by a bunch of Comanches when she was fairly young. And she ended up marrying one of the chiefs. And then the chief had him. He was born in office. Okay, so he was born in 1845 and died in 1911. He was the leader of the Quanada band of the Comanche. He was likely born into the Wanderers band of the Tabi Naka and grew up among the Cowandas. The son of a Cowanda Comanche chief Peter Naka and Cynthia Ann Parker, the Anglo-American who had been abducted as an 8-year-old child and assimilated into the tribe. So they, you know, she didn't know anything but them. I think she wrote a book too, but this picture here of her breastfeeding is pretty popular. With European hunting, the Comanche's primary substance near extinction, Parker eventually surrendered peacefully. He was never elected chief by his people, was appointed by the federal government as principal chief of his nation. He became primary emissary. He's married to 3 or 4 chicks, too. He had 3 or 4 wives. They didn't say nothing about him having 3 or 4 wives, but he kills, let me tell you, he kills a bunch of Europeans. I mean, he goes to war. This dude goes to war against them. Like I said before, you know, this book really shows you who the Buffalo Soldiers was, because a lot of them was these Indians too, Indians chasing Indians. And the Comanches was the best at saving their people, like moving, and there was secret trails that they had used for years, and the Europeans couldn't, it was like they would disappear from the Europeans. They would hide their tracks. They would completely abandon the camps. Wasn't nothing hardly there. They were very stealthy people. And all of them used to moving quick. And I mean, he goes to war and kills a bunch of these mugs. And they still, when he surrendered, they gave him his plantation, left him alone. And they said, this movie is going to be a good movie. If they let him go at him the way he did. Oh. What does it say? First child. So Cynthia was Quanah. He was born in the Wichita Mountains of southwest Oklahoma. They led her to a rancher about 1850, just before. Cynthia Parker Nuka had another son, Paco, and a daughter. In December, Cynthia and Parker were captured in the Battle of Peace River. American forces were led by Sergeant John Springer, who commanded the company. And Texas Rangers would claim the end of the battle. The wounded Peter Naka was therefore killed by the Spangler's Mexican servants, but this was disputed by witnesses among the Texas Rangers and by Quanah Parker. It was believed that Quanah Parker and his brother Paco were the only 2 to have escaped on horseback, and were tracked by Ranger Charles Goodnight, but escaped to rendezvous with other Nokana. Some, including himself, claim the story is false and that he and his brother and his father were not at the battle at all. Cynthia Ann Parker and her daughter, were taken by the Texas Rangers against her will into Parker's home. After 24 years of Comanche, Parker refused to reassimilate. The baby died. She died. She killed herself. Wow. She killed herself. Wow. Wow. Wow, that is so sad. Means Comanche language, Quana means odor smell. Words often took on more active masculine roles, but Quana restated the name mother gave him. Head of the people took young Quana and his brother under his wing, and they let him fight. In 67, when Quana Park was only a young man, he had come along with the Comanche chiefs as observer to treaty negotiations. The Plains Indians were losing the battle for the land with the U.S. government, following the capture of Kiowa Chief, Sitting Bear, Big Three, Satana. The last period in 1873 years, thanks to the firm's stubborn behavior of Gapo with the Kana, Comanche, and Southern Shawnee tribes joined forces in several battles. Ronald McKenzie led an army force rounding and killing remaining Indians who were not on the reservations. Ishante, a Comanche medicine man, called for the Comanche bands to gather together for a sun dance, and through that ritual, Kwame was not a Comanche practice. The bands gathered in May on Red River in present-day Texas, and at that gathering, Ashante and Kwame recruited warriors were raised into Texas to avenge the slain relatives. Other Comanche chiefs, namely Izara, White Wolf, and Tabangaka, Sound of the Sunrise of the Yapakankia, and the Big Red Meat of the Nakia band identified the Buffalo Hide merchants as the real threat to their way of life. They suggested if Quanah Parker were to attack anybody, he should attack the merchants. A war party of around 250 warriors composed of mainly Comanche and Cheyennes were impressed by Isaiah's claim of protective medicine to protect them from their enemies. They headed in Texas toward the trading post. The raid should have been a slaughter, but the saloon keeper had heard about the coming raid and kept his customers from going to bed by offering drinks. The raiders drove in the valley. 50 caliber guns kept them, saved their lives. The 50 caliber guns made a big difference there. Quanah's horse was shot from under him at 500 yards. Wow. He hid behind a buffalo carcass and was hit by a bullet that ricocheted powder horn around his neck and lodged between his shoulder and his neck. The wound was not serious, and Quanah Parker was rescued, brought back. This is what he looked like. Wearing European clothes. Looked like a dude from the Flower Moon, don't he? He looks just like a guy from Killer of the Flower Moon. Same period. When he totally had to assimilate. He looks just like a guy, had a little bread. English gentleman. They made him assimilate. Let me see more pictures. Oh, okay. This is what he looked like when he was younger. This is where he's buried, I take it. Quanah Parker Inn. Okay. So this is where he's buried. All right. Got the obelisk on him. Oh, okay. He's in rodeo, looks like. It's his mama. I mean, look at him. Look how dark he is. I mean, this ain't this dude is look at what they're showing you. And his mama was European. It looks still how dark this brother is. So this should look for this. If they make this into a movie, it should be a good movie. And they could do that scene where they killing them with the 50 calibers. They beat a bigger force down. Yeah, the book is cool. Read this. This is really cool too about him. This is cool too. But I saw that earlier that it's going to be made into the movie. The book is really good. I should get a hard copy, buy another one, read it again. That's probably what I'm going to do. Get me a hard copy. Because it's a good story. About a certain way of life, you know? Jamar, what's happening? Thank you for joining tonight. I appreciate you coming. Damn, I've been going for an hour and a half. Okay. I'm pretty hyped. I got a meeting, so I got to get up in the morning. But yeah, the ritual never goes away. You know, it never goes away. And like I always said, whatever Lola wants, Lola. And I talked about this the other night. Like I look at, you know, I look at, I said this the other night too, you know, where I got a whole scrapbook like that tells a story. And now, you have it on Instagram and stuff, but all this electricity stuff goes apart. Where is it? And so I talked about this the last time I was on, Sports Illustrated. And and again, there was still some small print of you could still get the Sports Illustrated books. But what they were trying to switch to and what they did is they gave you opportunity to get the ebook. And the group that bought the rights to the ebook fell apart. They did not make the decisive payment, and it's on its deathbed. They're laying off significant stands. And I mean, how much of the, electrics, people that put out the electric, the ebooks, the e-magazines, excuse me. Yeah, let's keep it simple. Since the sports department, we're not very bright. Sports Illustrated can't pay its bills. So the people that they gave the right to can't pay the bills. And it's like, it was the writing was on the wall that the media print is dead. Look at Playboy. People thought that they'd always want to have a book, and hell, porn. And porn made a lot of people not need them books either. You can get the tape. They had a tape in your house. That made a lot of them books. People didn't want the books anymore. That was the beginning of the end. It was porn that you could just, you ain't got to just see a picture of a chick with it. You could see it moving in your TV. So that was really, the beginning of the end of all that. ESPN, ESPN was the end of Sports Illustrated. You can get it every day. You ain't got to wait a week and it's old news. It's the week before. That's what Sports Illustrated always was. It was the week before news. So it wasn't anything, and how long could that go? And it's the same way with papers. You got television and now your phones is telling you. So 60 corrections officers asking Missouri governor to stop execution of model inmate. Is that the mug they're about to gas? I think the 27th or 29th, they're about to gas this mug in one state. What state is he in? 2 counts of first-degree murder, killing his cousin and her husband. Yeah, I don't think he should get off. I don't care how nice. How long has he been in prison? How long has this cat been in prison? 60 people said he's been nice since he's been here. Well, he's here for a reason. What did Richard Pryor say? Thank you for penitentiaries. Thank God for penitentiaries. I saw the dumbest war movie today. Let me tell you how stupid. It's like, what was I watching? Max. Some movie I found on Max. It talked about right after, like at the end of the war. They fight a battle. So check this out. This corporal, the lieutenant comes up and gives them a mission. The war is still not over, but the mission is they have to take this food to another camp. And the dude's trying to tell them, look, I just had a dude killed today, and now you telling us we going on a non-combat mission. I got to risk my man. Now, I'm watching the movie, and when they leave, they take 2 trucks, no radio. Like, I've never seen a war movie where people would radio so you can stay connected. And like if you go so far, you can connect your radio directly to them too. It depends on how much line they laid, but no radio. Like no radio at all. Like, what is this? Then they capture a mortar group. Tanks come, they have a bazooka, but it was like they could have used the mortars to start bombing them people. So I don't know. It was some stupid shit. It was some stupid stuff, y'all. Oh, yeah, I really feel better. Got more stamina and everything. Yeah, I saw that. Zach Ertz signed with the Lions. Did y'all catch this? Yeah, did y'all catch this? Zach Ertz signed with the Lions. So he signed with the practice squad. So he's playing. He might play in the Super Bowl. They lost that one tight end. Remember, they lost that other tight end. Yeah, so it looks like so Zach Ertz might make a factor. He signed Zach Ertz. So, and Ertz won the Super Bowl. That might be a tell. That might be a tell. I caught that yesterday. That might definitely be a tell. But yeah, that was some bullshit. The Timberwolves lost tonight. That was some bullshit. They had that game. Up 17. Up 17. Could have been up 19 if just taking it 2. Everybody was so spread out. Anybody could have went to the basket. And they threw up like 15 bad shots. And let that team back in the game. Miller hit clutch shot. And Embid, man, he was just bullying. I thought I had tape where he just, he just like bodies him out the way. I thought I caught that, but I guess I didn't. But he caught that mug and he just bullies him out the way. No, she died a while ago. She ain't counting her. Oh, did anybody get those VR things, the $3,400 goggles? Did anybody get that shit? Anybody pay 30? I know a couple cats on YouTube bought them. I'm going to get them when they go on sale. Oh, what is this? Oh, okay. How do I get into it? No, not that. Let's see. Okay. Now, you can tell who voted for this. This is the 35 funniest actors and actresses of all time. Martin Short shouldn't be on here. I don't know him. Adam Sandler. Okay. Robin Williams. Yeah, I don't have a problem with Robin Williams. Lucy. Yeah, Lucy is hilarious. Whoopi. Yeah, I don't know if she was funny in movies. Chris Rock. Yeah, I like that one of his first movies where he plays a role with one of the original movies was Heaven Can Wait. That's a funny movie. I like that movie, but Chris wore the dress. Yeah, Eddie should be in there, but Eddie wore the dress too. Yeah, let's see who else. Bill Murray, I don't know. Groundhog Day, I don't know. Yes, Carol Burnett. Yes, Carol Burnett definitely was funny. Kristen, yeah, she's funny. I like to sketch people. She has a wide range of funny. Betty White, yeah. Betty White, people forget that Betty White was funnier than motherfucker on Mary Tyler Moore. And she was much younger on Mary Tyler Moore before the Golden Girls. Betty, she was kind of the freak woman on Mary Tyler Moore. People forget that. So, yeah, I would agree with Betty White. Yeah, I think he's a ham. Will Ferrell. Again, the ham kind of thing. I love him in The Jerk. Little House of Horrors, he's not in it, but The Jerk, he is hilarious in The Jerk. Yeah, I'll put him in here in The Jerk. Charlie Chaplin, I didn't know he was a comedian. Okay. I did not know he was a comedian. So, I don't know. Richard Pryor should be the top. There was the top. Definitely Richard Pryor. Madeline Kahn, wow. Yeah, she had a wide range. Yeah, I don't have no problem with her. Oh, definitely my homeboy. Talk shit about me because I walked into his club late on 2 of his sets. But yeah, homeboy's funny. Dean Martin, I wouldn't say him as a comedian. I wouldn't say Jerry Lewis. Hell yeah, Jerry Lewis is funny. Bob Hope, yeah, Bob Hope is funny than a motherfucker. Bob Hope was one of the Macs of all time. I mean, Bob Hope went around the world macking. I mean, he macked on chicks around the world. He brought his chicks with him. And he was macking on them the whole time. So, yeah, Bob Hope is funny. Who is this? Phyllis Diller? No. I say no for Phyllis Diller. George Carlin, yes. It's funny how he became hip. He was like first a nerdy little actor, and then people noticed him. He took a really black persona. He was the cool European. Andy Griffin. Yeah, that one when he plays football. If you listen to, he has a football. He made a movie out of it, but he has a skit where he talks about where he was playing football and shit, and they made a movie out of it. So yeah, I liked Andy Griffin. He was funny. Phil Hartman, I don't know if he had a big enough body of work. Didn't have a lot of work. Saturday Night Live was most of his work, so I don't know if Phil Hartman should be on here. Kelsey Grammer, funny, not really. I mean, that Cheers kind of funny, wasn't really joke funny, you know? So I don't know. Fran Drescher, see again, I don't know. She was limited. She didn't have very wide range. She was one thing. Yeah, Gene Wilder, yeah, he's funny, the motherfucker. He's funny in Blazing Saddles. He's funny in Richard Pryor, with Richard Pryor. Yeah, Mary Tyler Moore was funny. She was funny. Her show is hilarious. Yeah, for John Candy, because I was a big fan of SCTV. Big fan of SCTV. I don't know if y'all remember SCTV. Billy Crystal, yeah, okay. Europeans think he's funny, okay. I think that's the list. Tom Hanks, do I think Tom Hanks is funny? No, not at all. Chris Farley, I don't know. He's a ham. I put him in there with the hams. I don't know. I don't like Belushi. Yeah, not a big body of work, but when he walks up them stairs in Caddyshack, that motherfucker is goofy as fuck, and that shit's funny. The in-laws or the black and white one they made, that one's kind of funny too. 1942, he's funny in that one too, but just not a big body of work. Okay, we kind of knew there wasn't going to be a whole bunch of niggas on it. What, Whoopi and Richard Pryor? Whoopi and Richard Pryor was the only comedic actors. Whoopi and Richard Pryor. Okay, we see how you feel. We see just how you feel. Okay, yeah, she was old news. Let's see what I got going on in here. Let's see. No. No. My God, I think you got it. It's funny. I watch like Facebook has where you can watch people from London nightclub scene. That is so crazy to me that the nightclub scene, like it's like people walking around with coats on and shit. And it's like, I've said here, I remember one time, and this was probably like in 2010, but it was like -4, -5, and I had to go downtown for some reason. But I had to drive downtown by all the clubs. And I'm looking at it, -4, and these girls is in spaghetti tops, little bitty dresses. Now, again, they ain't got to walk terribly far. You know, it's a block at the most in some instances. But I still find it like, like I watch in England, it's like, it's the same thing over there. Like chicks in the mini dresses kill me. Like, how long is the mini dresses going to be in style? They was in style in 2010. Like, I guess that's just a staple for young women. You're going to wear little mini dresses. Now, in all honesty, my daughter at the wedding, her and her friends, they all had mini dresses that were appropriate for their age. I'll say that. But they were that type of style, but a little longer, but I mean, appropriate for their age. It's like, call me crazy, but Richard Pryor was not funny to me. It might be a generational thing. It was just kind of not it. Man, I don't know. I don't know if I could, he started storytelling in a way that it had never been comically thought about. I mean, I played Don Rickles. Don Rickles is one-liner, Henny Youngman, Jack Benny. I mean, comedy was one-liners. I mean, what's the dude, dude Back to School? You know, he was one-liners. He wasn't a teller. Richard Pryor started storytelling. And like even, okay, like if you want to break down the difference between him and Richard Pryor, Red Fox was from the line of Steel punchlines, but like Red Fox had the X-rated punchlines. So his story was like one little punchline story. Richard Pryor painted a canvas for you to listen to in humorous ways. You know, he's like, I was telling the buddy, he's like, I told the buddy this. I mean, it just, and then his writing in Blazing Saddles. Watch that boy shit, redneck. Yeah, I guess it is a generational thing, but when you do something and everyone else copies the way it's done, it changes the way it's done. That's what Richard Pryor did. Richard Pryor changed the way that comedy was told. And I mean, everybody does it now. It's not told the old way, a motherfucker just come up there, one-liner, 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 one-liner. That's gone. People ain't listening to that no more. And Richard Pryor changed that almost single-handedly. Because what is his name? Back to School. What's his name? I can't think of his name. But that comedian was, he on Johnny Carson, he one-liners. Even this movie, he's one-liners. He wasn't a real storyteller. He could tell you a story for what they say, 16 bars of a story. Richard Pryor painted it. That Mudbone shit, you know, that shit is funny. That shit, little shit I play. Like, imagine this. In Woodstock, he is telling you, like, when I play that where he's shooting dice, he's talking about a crap game, and he's playing, you know, a bunch of different characters while he's shooting craps. I mean, you got to look at it as an art form, baby. Look at it as an art form. Yes, I'm just saying, like, study it. Study a lot of it. Like, you know, like even when he talked about, you know, blowing up, he's like, why am I the only nigga that freebase and blow up? I mean, that's genius. That's probably Paul Moody's joke. That sounds like Paul Moody wrote that. But when he talks about, you know, having a heart attack and shit, he's having a heart attack, and he says, you know, you having a heart attack, and then you start talking to God, and he say, the heart, here you trying to talk to God. He'd be like, the heart was like, hey, motherfucker, you wasn't trying to talk to that God when you ate that bacon. And I was like, oh, don't kill me, you know? I mean, he makes damn near dying from freebasing funny. And I mean, it's, you know, like Janus, you know, comics is a Janus. You know, when I say it all starts with a general sadness, I mean, he had sadness like a motherfucker. And I mean, he's one person that really went through the gamut of it all. I mean, not only did he wear the dress, he became a slave, an agreeable slave for 10 grand to be humiliated. I mean, to take the toy for an example. Is it any young people out there that we want to say, let's look this up. Let's look this up. Okay, yeah. See if we can find this shit. See if we can find it. I might have to get into the trailer. Let me see if I can find the trailer. I might can get this in the trailer. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. So I guess we got to look at it like this. Is there any young people in America that you would say the way to make it and the way to make it in Hollywood, you got to do this? Not only is he wearing a dress as a maid, he is technically about to be a slave too. By choice, they're paying him, but he's being paid to be humiliated. Now, is there anyone that you would say, do a remake of the toy? You would be Richard Pryor, you'd be in the dress in the beginning. Would there be any person that's young that we would give advice to? They was like, they want me to do the toy. We got to wear the dress in the beginning like Richard Pryor. And, what do you think? Should I take it? I mean, how does this, watching this movie, how does it make men feel? And I mean, this is after, I'm pretty sure this was after he done burned himself up, And so he's willing to do anything to stay there. Because people forget that Richard Pryor was once the highest paid actor. I don't think y'all remember when he did Superman, he got paid more than Superman got paid. Do y'all remember that? When Richard Pryor played Superman, he got more than Reeves got. But I mean, is there any young man to say, study the toy? This is the way that you can make it. Just study the toy. This man had went from the highest paid actor to this, to stay relevant. I mean, you tell me that's even. You tell me that's good advice. That's good career advice. Follow Richard Pryor. Do just like this. This is what you want young people to think about. It's okay to play the toy. It's okay to play the toy. Is that what we telling young people? So. Did this make you even feel, what's the Wayans where they play the girls? That wasn't worse as this. This is like some of the worst ever. But this is all still in that same category of Flip Wilson. I mean, why did a scene like this have to be written in? Who thought this was funny? Do you think Richard Pryor wrote this? Do you think Richard Pryor wrote this scene like this? Yes, he agreed to do it, but do you think he wrote this scene in? Do you think in his own personal, the way he felt about things, that this scene was even necessary? When Dave Chappelle talks about, damn, why is this necessary? You couldn't have made the movie and made him he could have had regular clothes on serving him and shit. But this is necessary as a shaming. This whole movie is a shaming. That you can be the highest paid actor and they can turn you into this. So I don't know if that's young people. You make up your own mind. This ain't offensive to you, then that's on y'all. That's y'all generation. My generation, that shit is offensive. And we don't follow this. We don't give positive to saying this is positive for us. This ain't positive. Ain't nothing about this positive. So that's the way it is. That is the way it is. So, kind of flag are you waving? Now, I understand the history. It ain't the American history. It ain't the melanated people's history. But the Europeans, I understand their history. And, get into Wes Panari's work. He breaks this down the best, where this cult comes from. Wes Panari gets deep into talking about what happens to Marduk after he gets the crown cut off, the emerald crown cut off his shit, and he gets his junk cut off for kidnapping his niece. He gets his shit cut off and the emerald crown cut off at the same time. And then he goes back in to start dressing like a woman and a cult of a woman. Oh, that's the fan making that. Okay, yeah. I'm hearing my words in the fan. Okay. So I don't know, it's still hot up here. It'll have to just be the way it is. The sound is what it is. It's hot. So that's my advice for young people. Sad thing to the Wayans, never really got the money they owed him. Yeah. And don't forget he was high. Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, he was an addict. Like if you want to do a really study of Rich, you can study him when he goes on Johnny Carson. And when he goes on Johnny Carson, you can see when he comes back from Africa, the power he has. the saneness, the strength, the state of mind. Because again, a lot of people, Marvin Gaye had to do the same thing. I mean, Marvin Gaye was, was kind of disturbed too, but so that. But getting back into Marduk, and so that's where the occult comes from. That's how old it is. He started dressing feminine and taking the place of the divine feminine. So that's how old the cult is. And that's how old the practice is. And so the ones that agree, they agree. Yeah. Okay. Where am I at? Oh, close to 2 hours. Okay. That's probably it tonight. I don't think most of them get money. You see Ataji, and let me see. I'm a 40, so it's offensive in minds too. But again, Kevin Hart, like 3 years older than me. That's a good point. So it's offensive to me, but Kevin Hart, yeah, that's a good point. Well, I mean, like what? I don't know if y'all watch Larry Holmes. It's a special on Larry Holmes where he talks about his boxing career. He said his first 10 fights, he only made $700, and like 3 or 4 of the fights were undercard fights for Ali. He was making like $150, $200. Don King was stealing from him. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It like they said that Ali was supposed to get that last fight against Holmes. He was supposed to get $10 million. In the movie version or the TV Vin Ring version, they say he gave him like a $2 million in cash instead of giving him. It might have even been less than that. Like it was like just it didn't make no sense. Like they always said, Rocky Marciano would never take checks. He ain't trust checks. Like motherfucker would give him what dude they said this is how cheap he was. One time a dude gave him $7,000 check. He's like, what, a check? He took $1,000. Like, you guys get around, give me cash. Keep this check. Like, now maybe he had checks bounce. It's hard to say. That's always possible. So maybe that's why I didn't trust him, because that's a possibility too. So I mean, I don't know. I think there's gotta, like there's all kind of messages you can put out there, and young people, are look to people, and follow, some of their opinions. And I guess, it's to each of us who leads who we lead. I guess I'll leave it alone like that. We lead who we lead. And, if it sounds good to you, I guess that's the end of it. If it sounds good to you, then I guess that's the path for you. That's the only way I can say. That is the path for you. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't really been following a lot of debauchery, but it was just one story I wanted to bring up. I think I talked about this the other day. Florida man goes on a shooting spree after attempting to romance his daughter. So I don't think I saved the one story I had left. Yeah, I don't think I saved it. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. It's funny the like people in jail stories, the jail cook, the gangs. People are so intrigued by Chicago gangs, and the shit was so murderous. And I've said, I know people that've lived Chicago all their lives. They ain't never been touched by any kind of violence. So it ain't, it's the way you carry yourself, I guess, and what you put yourself around. And I know, if you grow up around that or you're forced into it, socioeconomically forced into that, I do understand that. But everybody that lives over there, they don't. You can stay away from that. If that ain't your thing, you can stay away from that. I know that's, kind of simplistic way of saying it, but it was like, listening to the young brothers in California saying, the dudes that didn't bang, they didn't fuck with you because they knew you wasn't involved in that life. And they grew up in that gang culture life out there and said, they was able to do sports, go to school and not be bothered. And then that generation saw, when gangsterism and that look was commercialized, when Logan was commercialized, the gangbang became popular across the nation. And remember, I did an excellent video on my other show where I proved that, what was his name? Blood Mac, that he was trained by the CIA, FBI. He was a gang member in California and he took the Bloods to New York, and they started it by putting him in jail. And then not only that, they gave them privileges to bully people and extort people while they was there. The prison they put him in, they let him start a gang in the prison. And so the way they spread it, these dudes start getting out. And when they get out, they start clicking up. Then more and more of them go in, they click up when they go in. When they come out, they still click up. And you can see this is how the government helped the gangs, that type of gang that didn't exist in New York. It was completely different gangs. Actually, it was more of the gangs was more of like mafia, little smaller mafia like brothers. Or even, I guess that didn't come out right. Okay, like what was her name? Madam, whatever her name was, and Bumpy Johnson and them. You can see the people that worked under them. Is my point, in their mentality, they was about business. Now they handled violence when they had to handle, but it was mostly about business. Violence takes away from the business. It gives attention. So that's how the gangs was up there. More like that. And then they brought this other aspect of it. Fake territory. Again, it's always going to be, try whatever drugs you can help the gang get, whatever. But it spread, that kind of thing. It was artificial. The government, and I've said this before, I watched the government help create a gang in a town. And I said, the town of Battle Creek, Michigan, I'm telling you, if I walked you around it, I'm going to say, and I told you, if I drove you around, and then I went back to my house and I'm saying, remember we was over there? And you said, yeah. I said, that's the east side. He's like, okay. I said, remember where we went over there? I said, that's the west side. I said, remember we went over there? That was the north side. And that's the south side. And he was like, we was like in a couple blocks. How is that? I mean, really, it's like a couple blocks. A side is people's. Not 6, 7 neighborhoods. So, artificial boundaries where it ain't big enough to have boundaries. Dude's living 3 or 4 blocks away from you and you saying he's on a different side of town. I mean, it's like, just as trying to comprehend it. You saying I can't walk practically across the street, I'm in gang territory. I mean, I could literally walk around that little town like in some outer places, and where the stores and everybody live, I could walk in a circle probably an hour. I could probably walk all sides of town in an hour. Yeah, it probably even less than an hour. I'm talking about walking, so the car, you minutes away from everything. Hey, you better watch out. We're going to the east side today. And you going literally across the highway. You over there across the highway. They call it the penetrator. The other side of the penetrator is where the boundaries are. I mean, as mentally, and it goes back to the idea of the European ghetto. But I watched this police force create a gang. And I've said, I've said before, I watched the police like dealing that shit. It was like, man, they involved, it's like, and then Gary Webb stuff came out. It's like, and this comes out after, I'm seeing it firsthand. I'm like, wait a minute, these motherfuckers in here doing this shit. And I've told the story before where my dad thought they were setting this dude up, and I'm like, this dude got 3 keys. I know he got 3 keys right now. And my dad was like, he didn't take any dope. And I'm like, yeah, because this dude got 3 keys. Because we was somewhere together, and it was like, oh, okay, this is where we getting it from, and he here too. Shit, and he was talking like it was his stuff. I'm like, oh, whatever. I don't care. I'll buy it from whoever. So, it's always been them. So, yeah, I don't know, y'all. Influence, and we're on here, we influence people. And people look up to people. Whatever, people look up to people. Then I guess, some things seem agenda driven. It seems like it's a artificial. There's something else there. It's being pushed because there's something else there. And so what that something else is, I don't know. It could be financial. I don't know. Some kind of spot. It's hard to say. When you look at agendas. Man, I want to watch. I started watching Killer of the Flower Moon again. I want to tape a little. I'm gonna make a short of that scene where she walks after her sister gets killed, and it looks like every European she walks between wants to kill her. Wants to kill her. I mean, it is that is one of the well-made scenes of hate, of European melanated hate. I mean, that scene says it all. You can tell it wasn't hard for him to play either. You could tell it wasn't hard for them to play. So, but man, I feel, I feel good. I've been debating to going back to the gym and getting on this mug. I'm a little weak. I planned on this week going back on the machine, started getting it together with the pickleball and stuff. Playing indoors. Slowly getting back into it because I ain't played in months, so I know it's gonna take a minute to get them functions back up. But everything is not hurting myself as much anymore, so I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I should play the Tighten Up. Do, 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 do. Come on and tighten up. Everybody should tighten up. Said, don't lighten up, tighten up. Oh, yeah, I'll get back to that. Yeah, money and actors and music. We know the music industry ain't been no bread. We know who it's been limited bread. It ain't always the bread they say. And so we know how people get caught up in that. And so why would you think acting would be any different? I'm gonna tell you, like one thing that you see is Hollywood Shuffle. I mean, they had to pay. They had to pay. And they just barely, broke even with Hollywood Shuffle. I mean, Spike Lee couldn't even finish Malcolm X up. Remember that? He couldn't finish Malcolm X. He had to go get some people, which I thought it was stupid well, I guess Malcolm did go to Africa, but I thought they didn't have to bring dude who was locked up. I was like, that was like extra expense. I'd have if I was a producer, I wouldn't have paid for that shit either. Like, no, we're not going over there so Mandela can say I'm Malcolm X. And shit, Mandela, or whichever that guy was, he had it harder than Malcolm X. They let Malcolm out of jail. So, I mean, so it shows that the money ain't really there for everybody. I mean, even makes you wonder, they telling you Tom Cruise got all this money, and I don't understand. Like every day on Facebook, they always talk about how much money Michael Jordan has. And like why do they tell us like what kind of jury people have? Like, why is that such in demand? Like, what kind of jury people? Why does anybody else care? What kind of jury people have on? Why is that? It's like all the time when they talk about niggas, it's got to be they buying something, trying to get this, trying to get that. Look at, they have this. Look at Jordan's house. Somebody's building the biggest. I mean, you don't see that done to everybody. You have to kind of look for that kind of thing. Most people are pretty modest. I mean, what do they always tell you? You know, you wear Rolex, you still say it's fake. That's a given. So we used to be, nah, this shit ain't real, man. This shit ain't real. That used to be like the running joke. You'd always say your Rolex wasn't real. That was like the running joke with everybody. Nah, it ain't real, man. This ain't real. Y'all didn't never play that. Nah, man, this shit's played and none of this shit's real. That's how we used to play with each other. It's like, oh, no, it's fake. Oh, yeah, I could tell a fake from a... Yeah, man, look, this motherfucker ain't... Yeah, look at that motherfucker. And we just sit there and laugh at each other. And motherfuckers that didn't know us was like, oh, these niggas wearing fake shit. It's like, okay, they ain't got no reason to rob us now. Because they thought we was too stupid. You know, we stupid, so we admitted it was fake. No, oh. Nah, it was just kind of like a flex. Saying it was fake was like a flex, you know? Who is this cheesing ass dude? Oh. Okay, they caught who killed him. Got who killed him. Yeah, Timberwolves blew the game. Had 62 and lost. That's ridiculous. To lose, especially to them. They ain't been on no hot streak. Oh yeah. I was telling me. I wonder if I think this is a news thing. Yeah, I was telling y'all about this. Here we go. I think I can play this. Yeah, this is just the local news. This is, let's see. Motherfuckers come from all around to do this shit. Watch this shit.
Exactly as scheduled, thanks to those recent frigid temperatures. Our photojournalist Scott Wise takes us to the ice.
Okay, let me turn back. This is where I think, no, not here. Yeah, that's the restaurant. I do believe this is the restaurant. This is the backside of the restaurant. And this, yeah, okay, let's go.
I don't want to give it away, but our strategy is not pass. 60-second shifts tops would be ideal.
So these motherfuckers come from all over the nation to play pond hockey. Not only do they come over, because this starts out, okay, so the pond hockey, and then they're going to have the outdoor, damn, I don't even know what they call that shit. Like the outdoor, what do they call it? Like they're going to televise, like normally the pros will play outdoors, but they go around to different cities. But we have it where the college plays outdoors, the high school plays outdoors, and they come here not for this pond. It's another type, but this pond is kind of what's going on too. So it's something, this is the start, and motherfuckers come all around to play this shit.
It's so much fun. We always look forward to this every single year. Getting hockey players to come out and play in the most beautiful venue ever is not too challenging. Good boy, Bryce. Good battle. Hey, if you're tired, get off. Get back, get back.
It's fun hockey. Hockey at its finest, you know? When we came up, we just fell in love with it. And we made it a mission to come back as soon as we could. On you.
One, go, go.
On net.
Come on, guys, let's go.
People out there watching.
This is the best. All year long, we love this. We look forward to this event all year.
Damn, what kind of outfits you got on, Grandma?
Common kind of denominator across all the group.
The common denominator is y'all Europeans.
out here as everybody grew up playing hockey.
Oh, what a day. Beautiful.
So you ain't no too many of us out there. You can tell I'm vitamin D depreciated. Sun ain't up here much. It is another ice. Oh, okay. They retired Chet Holmgren's number at Minnehaha Academy. Him and what's his name down in Orlando. They went to high school together. What? So, so, yeah. Now that because where we eat, it's a place where we eat, and they was having last year. They was having the big one, and they televised some of these games. So that's not this pond stuff. They ain't televising that shit. This is about what they do. Oh, this is okay. This is one of the stories I want to show. No, I don't know if I want to show her. Yeah, this young girl got killed in a car accident. Very tragic. Very tragic. So yeah, no real debauchery in the Great White North. No real debauchery. I talked about this before. Yes.
Don't get weighed down by...
I won't. I talked about this before. I won't get hit this time. Man, they were serious. But I think I can show this shit. This is the regular news. All right. Here we go. I caught this a couple weeks ago. I'm going to go out here and play this shit.
We've mentioned squash a few times. You've got several squash courts, even a doubles one.
Yes.
Those who are looking, going, where's the pickleball? It's here too.
It's not far away. It's right over there.
Right over there. And we had this nice display. I just wanted to show of all the different racket sports that are offered here, and the different balls.
We have something for everyone. Any racket enthusiast can come over, and we have a day for you to play.
This is also genius. You have fitness equipment.
Yes.
And it's on the other side of the padel court, so you watch padel while you're like on the Peloton.
Correct.
Entertainment built in.
Correct. You can watch the padel game, learn how to get better. Just natural entertainment, part of the racket sports.
Fantastic. What's the website? Because people are going to want to know more. And
it is heightsracketmn.com.
Yeah, this is I'm really looking to get into this. I showed this a couple months ago. They don't really show you the game. So the game is played inside of a cage, and you play off the walls. Here we go. This is a better shot. See that all this is playable. You can play the ball off any of this. Kind of very squash-like, but yeah, this is next for me. Is I'm gonna learn how to play this shit, and I'm gonna do it all. That is definitely next. So I'm gonna play pickleball this summer. Going all out. This will be my 4th year. I'm healthy. Keep going, I look forward to this year. I'm gonna play that shit too. Active. That's, I'm active. And, I'm gonna go hard. My daughter wants to play high school tennis. So me and her gonna work out. I told her. I was like, look, paddle. Because she said she played pickleball in gym class last week. And I hate it. But I know if she hit that ball hard. And tennis, I'll play tennis every day too. I'll play pickleball and tennis every day. Like right now I'm weighing 225. That last summer I got down to 211. So my blood pressure was a little high for me. Normally it's about 122. So when I went in, it was like, well, again, I had my winter coat on. They didn't even, have me take my coat. Well, I took my coat off, but I still had the sweatshirt on. So it showed high, but it's like normally my blood pressure's not high. I'm fine. So, but yeah, I wanted to show that. Man, I wanted to show my hat from yesterday. But sent that motherfucker back. All right, I ain't philosophized in a while. I guess I can give some positive words, All right, I'll give some positive words. The good thing about everybody is we have our own opinions. And just because we have opinions doesn't mean, it's beef or battle. Just means we feel differently about things, and that's what you want of people that you know. Everybody ain't gonna have the same opinion about things, and that don't make you feel one way or another. James Brown said it best. You got your thing and I got mine. And that I think works for everybody. And like I said, what is it? Loud enough? Is my message loud enough? I mean, life is hard. Life is real hard. And just the day-to-day duties, the day-to-day responsibilities of a man, a woman, however, your situation it can be very complicated at times. I mean, one of my football sayings used to be, you got to fight even though you want to cry. And, like at times things can hit you and it's like, when it comes, it's not just one thing a lot of times. It hits you from all different ways. But, when things are well, then that makes you enjoy the things when things go well for you even more. And, worry about you. Worry about you and yours. The things that you have to worry about. Without any, any thought of what people think about it. As long as you handle what you need to handle and you're handling it, why do you care about what anybody thinks? I mean, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, no matter what somebody else thinks, it shouldn't change your opinion because you're just doing what you're doing. I mean, I don't come on here begging. I don't beg for likes. I don't beg for bread. I don't need to. I got everything I want. Like I said, when we got married, it was like, we don't need nothing. Damn, if I need a toaster, microwave, or air fryer, I don't need none of that. We did get a bunch of bread. That is always good. Those 2 big electric recliners down there came from getting married. Got a couch coming. Well, it's getting made, so it's coming. So that was great wedding gifts. That's the kind of wedding gifts you get. Give me bread and I can buy my own gifts. This is therapy, to be able to come on here and give positive words from my perspective, a person that's older. And it's good to get older. Good, and it's good. It's bittersweet in a lot of ways. But it's still good because it is life. Even when it's bad, it's good because it's life. That's how the Gnostics put it. And when it's good, it's great. And so too often, we don't worry enough about what we're doing. I mean, it gets so like when I go around and see people, it's like cats can't even it seems like it's hard for a lot of cats to even get their own identities. Their identity is looking like and being like somebody else. That's why, the thing about the jury and everybody want to have jury that look the same. I don't get that. There ain't nothing new about any kind of jury. Diamond and jury and gold been around forever. That ain't nothing new. It was just like they tricked people into wearing platinum. The silver people loved it. He was like, hey, he got platinum too. When at the time, gold was worth more than platinum. But remember, you saw entertainers wearing platinum. So, hey, we need platinum now. Niggas couldn't afford it. Silver, hey, looks the same. Gold was worth more. So it's, But that's what I see. A lot of people trying to look like, not come up with their own identity. I've been wearing jerseys and baseball hats for 55 years at least. And Levi's. I mean, I've told the story before when, they cheaped out on me, but I was good with it. When I was in 7th grade, I only got 7 pairs of blue jeans. All Levi's. And I never thought anything about it. A girl teased me one day, but I love this shit. I can run, I can play football in these jeans. They keep me warm. I didn't feel any worse. I didn't feel anything. I love jeans. And I've always loved wearing sweats. Again, my generation was probably the first generation was really, they sold sweats. And you had to steal them from the schools because, well, they came in two ways. They used to make you buy your gym clothes. You had to buy sweats and you had to buy a top and bottom. And when you wore sweats, you had to wear shorts over the sweats. That is the stupidest shit. Like, who came up with that? Well, the dicks is hanging, so you got to put the... That was the stupidest shit I ever heard. But anyway. So, around that time, you started seeing sweat outfits sold as apparel. And that was probably around 75, 76. Yeah, 75 going into 76. Around 75, where sweats was, some people wearing. And then, 70, by the time 79 hit, they were selling them Adidas, that shiny Adidas shit, and that shit was exclusive. My boy had stole a bunch of them from LA and brought that shit back. We had all the colors. That shiny shit. They starting to resell it, but when that Adidas shit hit in 1979, 1980, that shit was nice. Where you could go out and I forget what it was expensive back then, but that shit was like as much as motherfucker dressed up. And you started seeing motherfuckers wearing them Adidas suits. And that was like 79. And so the casual, the athlete way of dressing, the way an athlete dressed became more fashionable. Remember jerseys, rappers, like people wasn't wearing jerseys already. Rappers is late wearing the jerseys. I said before, my first jersey was Dick Buckets and Lem Varney. I had them in the early 70s. They ain't had Gale Sayers, but Dick Buckets jersey, I used to wear that and just fuck some people up on some backyard football. I'd have that 51 on and I'm coming at you. And I still dress like that. That's what I prefer. And my point is, have your own, what you like, your own preference of what you like. Your own idea of how you put things together. How the world sees you. And a lot of times, just the way you carry yourself reflects. Because what you're trying to portray, you see reflected out there. People, understand the way you carry yourself. You've adapted. You know how to get along, and I guess we got to use the word Mac. I guess the other word is they don't like talking about it, but that's messed up because that's more. It's a total thing. It's not one thing. Style is another part of it. There's a lot of ways I can go with that. But like self-confidence, I only think dark is the puck. No, yeah, everybody wants to be somewhere else. Exactly. People just can't be happy being themselves or joyful, at least. Of being authenticity. Authentic. Being authentic. Everybody wants to fit in. I don't know. I was just like I started cutting my hair fairly young, and I'd been on the East Coast, so I knew cats was cutting their hair low. But it's like my sophomore year, it's like all these cats cutting their hair. I grew my afro back out. I grew a beard, and I grew my hair long because I just wanted to be different. I didn't want to be like all them. There was a picture of me. I'm, young guy with a beard. Now I got afro, and everybody around me has got short haircuts, just to be different, just to not fit in. Because uniqueness is still, valued in this world. That's what attracts other people to you, is your uniqueness. How many times have somebody told you, I've never met anybody like you? I mean, when I went to college, that was my whole experience. There was no one like me down there. Not even my homeboys from Michigan. None of them really like me. And, you know, I've always been a thinker and a great debater. You know, I'll debate with anybody. What did Dr. Clark say? I don't need debate anymore. I only teach. I don't debate anymore. I only teach. I think that's kind of it. It's like, even when I'm talking to my wife, I ain't really debating her or teaching her. But where are my scientists out there? My wife says that you cannot give a person cancer. That's what she says. She says they said that there's nothing the government can do to give a person cancer. Now, isn't there things that the government can make the cancer more active? So we have these kind of debates. We have those kind of debates. Damn, did we go over him? No, another nigga done died. I don't think we did him. No, we did not do. So this makes six people. David Gale, Beverly Hills 90210 and Port Charles actor, dies at 58. Damn, what happened to you, David? He was known as Beverly Hills 91210, General Hospital spinoff, Port Charles, died Tuesday due to complications from sudden cardiac arrest. He had a heart attack at 58. He was found unresponsive by emergency personnel, attempted to save his life, including cardiopulmonary. They shocked him. Okay, CPR, yeah. Despite their efforts, he was put on life support, where he remained for several days, and he died the 16th. Oh, so we can't count him for today. So we don't count. He died last week. Or he died a couple days ago, yeah. Because where are we up to? The 20, what is it? Oh, I don't have my, it ain't Monday. Why does this thing say Monday? Oh, it's the 23rd. Yeah, it's the 23rd. So we don't count him. I'm sorry. We don't count him, but he was new for the day. So this beast is getting hungry. Just notice. I know actors and actresses be tough. I know they are. I know actors and, let's see, they're showing like this guy just died today. I know actresses, singers. I know they hate this time of year because their cards could be called. I know they all tight. They be at these celebrity things, but you know, all of them know what's going on. And they probably hate this time of year when the awards is coming to the Super Bowl and all the sacrifices they know that's going to happen. I bet they uncomfortable as hell. But they'll be cheesing on the Super Bowl, but they know what's coming. They know what's coming. At that time, this beast is hungry. Cyclist who died in cliff fall may have been delirious after eating. I hate to laugh, but we gotta investigate this story. Cyclist who died in cliff fall may have been delirious after eating toxic mushrooms. A Scottish cyclist, I think this is him, died in Italy, may have fallen down a cliff on a bike after becoming delirious because he ate wild mushrooms, his family said. Steve Harper, who was cycling on a cycling trip from Dundee to India, where his family lost contact with him around 2 months ago. You just looking now? It is now emerged he fell off a cliff in Ventimiglia, 4 miles of the French-Italian border, on the 23rd. So that was a month ago. His family believes almost 2 months ago he may have become disoriented because of the toxins from the mushroom that he had eaten while foraging for food. His last known mention, he was feeling ill after making a meal that included mushrooms and noodles. Damn, this nigga carried a guitar. Launched to finding him earlier to identify. A brother went to identify him. The search in Harburg discovered his body in Italy. So they found him. He had enough resources to survive, but made a fatal mistake by eating a mushroom. His death was attributed to a fall from a cliff. God damn. Yeah, do I need to remind anybody? That's why you stay away from cliffs. That's why you stay away from cliffs. The hokey pokey. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's why you stay away from cliffs. That's why you don't try to ride your bike 30,000 miles away. Oh my goodness. Boy, you know, last weekend was one of them, the fraternities, all their anniversaries is coming up, and I'm like, wow, this is some debauchery. You want to be part of something, even as older, you know, like really, you look at fraternities, you only think it's like useful when you're in college, and these people that dedicate their lives to it, it amazes me. But you know, the boule is winning, no doubt. And it's a price to be the boule, but the boule is winning. I've been saying that for years. I look at all my boule teammates and friends, they're winning. I mean, of course, they have to do certain roles and certain things, but hey, they agreed to that shit a long time ago. So, who am I to judge? So, and these stupid ass cups. Like Stanley Cups. What the fuck? I don't get it. Like we bought my daughter one and okay. I paid $20-$30 for it. No, fuck no. That's the 50. Yeah, we paid 50 for hers. I take that back. I don't mind these. These aren't bad. Little picture. Yeah. Little tiny picture. Okay, I really want to buy these after seeing the tiny picture of them. Oh, here we go. I think it's this one. Oh, back to the little tiny picture. Okay, it's bigger on the bottom. I haven't really been fucking with shoes lately, but kind of like these. What was the other ones? Yeah, kind of like these. Oh, okay, these are different up here. Oh well. Oh well. I bought enough stuff. What do you say? The point is, there is no point. The point is, there is no point. That's what Richard Pryor would say when he was Mudbone. The point is, there is no point. And you better get some sunshine and plenty of it. And that goes with joy and bliss. Seems like Hollywood is crumbling. Yeah, well, remember they made a movie, you know, Babylon is fallen. You know, Babylon is fallen again. They've turned this into Babylon. I mean, the debauchery is just, it's nothing hid anymore. Stuff they used to have to keep hidden, it's out and open, it's full, and they want, you know, they act like this total exposure to the new younger generation, that the younger generation should be totally exposed to everything. And that's what I have disagreement about. You know, there's some things that I think that there's generations, they should not have to be exposed to certain things. And yet there's many, you know, some of us that think they still should be, and it's okay. You know, isn't it for the older generation to, you know, try to make it better for the younger generation? And I don't know. I mean, it's like so much hate of the older generation when in the way I looked at it, and my dad always hung around older guys. It's just older brothers. It used to be you wanted to be around older people. You wanted to be around that, and it seems like that's not even, you know, like people don't even want to be mentored anymore. Big brothers. And, you know, I'm sad. I don't see my great nephew like I was seeing him last year. And that saddens me a bit. You know, we was used to seeing him a couple times a week. Now, you know, he did his thing. But it's funny with him. And I'm not going to say anything, but all summer I've been asking him to, work out, work on basketball. And he tried out and he didn't make the team. They're letting him practice to teach him the fundamentals. But, that's something I learned a long time ago. I told the son, my son now is 6'8". The first team he played on, I took him to double practices to see if he loved it. He would do the practice with the older children, but when it was time for his own practice, he didn't understand. He did not have the love for it. And now he's 6'8", trying to play, and it's like, hey, like all my children, I exposed them to certain things, and it's like on them. My daughter played 1 year of basketball. I thought she did well. It wasn't for her. She wanted to do baton. So that's what we're doing. We're getting up Saturday morning and going to one of her baton events. So, we can't choose what they want to do. They have to do what feels good for them to do. I mean, we can challenge them and provide them with things, but we still have to challenge them. And if their thing is your thing, then that's great. Like I was talking about Patty Mahone, his thing was what his daddy did. Do it all. Basketball, football, and baseball. Do it all. If the child loves it, you just let it go. Perfect example. I knew this. Her story is really beautiful. She's a beautiful young girl, but again, she presents herself the way young women present herself. Great high school basketball player. Got a pretty decent scholarship and got pregnant. I think she didn't, where she got pregnant, I think she left that school and went somewhere else and, played while she had a baby. But her daughter's playing college basketball right now, and she was showing one of her sons, and her son hit a dude with a double crossover. He went to one dude, he crossed over quick here, and then he crossed right back over. He hit him like a double crossover. It was a sweet little move. And he was, I think she said right now he's the 13th ranked sixth grader in the state, class of 30. So he's younger than my daughter. So yeah, he's the 13th ranked. And again, you can get in it. 13th ranked sixth grader in the state. But, she's beautiful, beautiful young mother. She's probably in her 40s, I imagine. But, she teaches children, and you could see, like, the move he did was a move that you could see practiced on. It's like not only that, this was emphasized to him, for him to the way he did it. He had practiced it a lot at that age. I was very impressed. Like my son said, hit him with the hum hum, him. Hit him with the him. And it's like, when do people not want to teach anymore? Like, when does that not become a thing where you teach instead of just preaching? What do you stand for? You stand for anything? What does integrity mean? Of course, we all make mistakes. We should all evolve and change. But what does that change look like for you? Do you know yourself? I think knowing yourself is way better than, the trick of free will. Know thyself. As I said, if you know yourself, you'll never lose anything because you know where you would put it. I know my shortcomings. I know my habits. And, I've met him, many times. I drank way too much. And so I just have to, go days where I just don't drink all week. Wait till the weekends. But, I know that about myself. I can freely say, yeah, it's like I drank 2 or 3. I might drink them all. But yet I do know the ramifications if I keep going like that the next 20 years. So I have a little bit of discipline, enough to say, okay, I can't keep doing this for the next 20 years. But I can be honest with myself that, yeah, I got a problem with this shit. Because to me, it's like drinking water. Literally is. It's like the same thing. I enjoy the taste that much. Now, I don't know how niggas can just drink liquor all the time. Unless you sweeten it so much, I don't know how people drink that so much. But beer has a distinctive taste. And I like the taste of it. I can't say more. Like last night, I really didn't like that dizzy feeling. I drank too much. Didn't like it. It's like I was lit by the end of the game. I was pretty well lit, but a little too much. It was too much. Shit was too strong. But I can look at myself and I say, hey, you know what's going on. Your body tries to work with you so much. And so know yourself. Because if you can't be honest with yourself and you're still telling the lies and living off that lie, even into yourself, instead of saying, yeah, that was fucked up. That was some fucked up shit I did. And you know, it's like when you get into inhumanism, you know, men can become so arrogant that we don't even have, we don't even become, we're not even human anymore. And I mean this in aspect, you know, like we take, like especially, you know, the going after women in such a way, it in some regards, our humanism is taken away on that pursuit. It's like not even being a gentleman anymore. It's like just how many trophies can I collect? And so there's a humanism that's taken away because there's no more romance or love. It's just conquest. Using people, player. And where you really, your humanism is taken away because you're so involved into the conquest. Where's the next conquest? Where's the next conquest? And Battle Creek is the funniest place in the world to cheat because you got 30 people living in the town. So that's something that trip me out. It's like you can't mess with nobody else, but you find somebody in the town to mess with. You can't go to another town. You got to mess with somebody across town. That's lazy cheating. You know, that's a lazy way to cheat. You live in a little bitty town and you're fucking with somebody else in this little bitty town. If I'm cheating in these other cities. You're going to have to drive to come see me in the club hugged up with my other one. Nah, I don't need no other one at this age. I am perfectly happy with the one I got. Ooh, ain't no woman like the one I got. Oh no, they don't come better. To make her happy, don't take a lot. She don't ask. No, I ain't gonna say she don't ask her. You think my rings is nice. You should see hers. Her shit is nice. Very nice. Her rings are very nice. It's like, yeah, her ring costs more than all mine together. But that's the way it should be. And you know, what did Chaka say? Do you love what you feel? Like, can you just sit there and just love and feel good and feel loved and love and just sit there and be happy with yourself? It's like, you know, I'm sitting here and I went from like sitting on a hard ass, one of my wooden chairs with one of my seat cushions under it, killing my back, killing my legs, to this comfy chair with the saddle design on it. So the world is comfortable for me. And I'm thankful for this position in my life every day. And I try to make the ones around me life that I can make better. I do. All the resources that I can come up with and people I know, I try to help who I can help. Or I try to have an answer to a question or a possibility. You see, I don't come on here talking shit about everybody. I don't have to. I make my point and that's it. My point is known. I ain't really got to keep pondering on it. I think my principles is well spoken. I said, you know, I'm not the perfect person in any way, shapes, or form. I'm perfectly imperfect, if that's the thing. But I do have a little foresight and insight. It's funny, wow, how it works. Like, man, you know how when you're tapped into stuff, I was reading a page here, and I'll share this. I was reading a page and like the vision hit. And, the vision hit. It was like, man, I got a glimpse of like the civilization. I was reading, it's like, I got a real glimpse, like a real vision. It was so vivid. It's like, whoa. And it was again, this shit comes in microseconds sometimes. And if you don't pay attention, you'll miss it. But it came. It was like, I was thinking about, they were discussing types of vegetations. And I started thinking about a flower, and all of a sudden, like, the jungle opened up, and I'm seeing, the omic. I'm seeing like a little bit of that civilization. It's like, wow. So I have a little foresight like that. And when I talk about, the way I feel about the ball game, it's in my DNA. And, I was scared. My first gifts was a football and a football helmet. That was probably the first gifts I got when I turned 1 and could walk. Was a football helmet and a football. So I was steered into sports. Bred into it. And with my dad's help, I did take athletics further than he did. I offered that for my children, and none of them really wanted to take that route but one. But my daughters, got activity. And so with all their decisions, I'm happy with their decisions. But mostly I'm happy with myself. How many days do you go back to my videos where I come out here, I'm mad about something or I'm pouting? And it ain't like everything is, going great around me. You can look at my old shows. But you don't ever see me pouting or, unjoyful or unthankful. I mean, we don't even pay attention to our breaths. Most people don't even know that your breath is actually something completely separate from you in a way. It's its own thing. I mean, it's like water. What is water to a fish? It's all around it. But it's its own separate thing. And most of us, you don't even, you're not even cognizant of, and for years I thought it was a type of disease because I know I can bring this in and I can move this energy. And I think I'm developed as, for a 62-year-old person, I think I'm developed as anybody. And I don't sell nothing. I don't try to. I'm slacking on my cards. I should give that energy out. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm looking at all these cards, and they got so much energy and to spin crystals on them, so I know they're ready. But I don't really take the time. And I'll say that the room too. It's like I need more shelves and stuff. So, but things are done in stages. And I don't know, it's like so much, like we were saying earlier, so much like Babylon around us. It is hard to just be a solid person sometimes. Because it's, as much as I joke about it, debauchery can be around us at any time. And it's the way of, steering clear of it. I mean, there's no such things as happy-go-lucky. It's lucky-go-happy. That was one of the funniest things I was ever called when I refed. But he's like, "You happy-go-lucky motherfucker?" Like, what? Oh my goodness, he cracked me up. I had to laugh. I was like, oh shit, how do you even think about that? Like, what was I doing that made me happy-go-lucky looking? And to be a motherfucker behind it. I guess he saw my cool. I ref when I was reffing, I was cool. I still had the best cleats. I'm reffing, I got all that shit. But you know, to think that each and every person isn't special is like ridiculous. All of us are special. All of us are magical beings. It's just naturally how we are. So find whatever it is, you know, and use it to your advantage. Find whatever that thing is and use it to your advantage. That's what magic is. See, because things can be slightly unexplainable. They can work for you. That's all. Like, you know, where, you know, you see the bottle don't tip over, then it lands upright, but it should have tipped over. Slightly unexplainable. That's how unique your gift can be. It can be slightly unexplainable. I think that's one of the keys. Because it is real, like you know, to give and receive, you have to have the channels open. It was like, yeah, I pick up my godmother and she's like, you want to be married and you want the person to love you more than you love them. And I'm like, yeah, I know how you feel because you caught your husband in bed with that white girl. So I know how you feel. But I think you loved him more than he loved you at that time. But I'm like, okay. No, you want to love each other the same. Like my wife was like, well, are you still in love with me? I'm like, every day, more and more. I love the way she talks, the way she walks, the way she pouts, the way she cries. Her shock, the way I scare her. I go around, I scare my wife and my daughter, like constantly scare them. I'm a sleuth. I constantly scare them. I don't understand that. Ain't nobody in this house but us three. And they get scared if I walk up and I'm silent about doing it. I don't get that. I'm like, who else do you think? My daughter, I walk out the room, my daughter's like, oh, I scared him. I'm like, I'm looking right at you. No, I didn't expect her, but I was like, I didn't go, ah. But it's like, even, you know, when things seem like burdens, you can still get over the burden because the message could be also like, oh, okay, wake up to this message too. Sometimes it seems like some sour things to come, and it's really just trying to say, hey, you can do this. Get this out the way. Because I'm faced with that kind of thing all the time. It's like, okay, we'll see. There's a lot of different ways to look at things. A lot of different ways to come over them, to get over them, to accomplish things. It's like, okay, I need to start somewhere. Where's the ball need to roll? All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Oh, shit. I'm going to go 3 more minutes. I'm almost 3 hours. Yeah, I can definitely go 3 more minutes. Oh, that's right. I started around 12, didn't I? Oh, my goodness. This room was so hot. Oh, I'm glad we didn't turn the fireplace. But it was 30 degrees up here, y'all. 30 degrees. It was so nice and sunny and warm. And then, you know, the days is getting longer. It didn't get dark until, close to 5:30. Man, and let me tell you, McDonald's has very good coffee. But after drinking that coffee, I'm driving and something hit my stomach, like bloop. I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" And I was getting cramps. And you know when it's really foul, you kind of lift off it in the car. You're like, you lift up. Oh, I rolled the window down, and my daughter's like, "Wait, oh no!" And then it was like I felt better instantly. I'm like, ah. Then I ride a little longer. Boom, she's like, and then she's like, oh, you're choking me. You know, she wanted to ride the car. Like, you know how a dog would ride with their head out the window and shit? She got the seatbelt choking her and her head's all out the window. Like, sorry, daughter, but I feel better. Yeah, so it's just fun. And I hope everybody has fun, you know. But yeah, I had to, but that coffee was good. But do you guys ground your beans? I'm into grounding my beans now. Yeah, I don't do that little pod shit. I ground my beans. It's hard for me to get, what is that, espresso? It's hard for me to get into my espresso machine. It take it 30 minutes to make this much coffee. Now, I will admit, if I put like a Cappuccino cup. I guess it's a little stronger, but not satisfying. It's not satisfying. I drank this much coffee. I'm not satisfied at all. It may give you the jolt, but I'm not satisfied drinking that much coffee. I want a nice little cup. I've got a silver spoon. I've got a little bowl or plate and shit. Porcelain, not porcelain, fine china. Because I got vision. I have only the finer things. Oh, I have only the finer things. Well, this is 3 hours. I'm going to cut it. Thank you for joining. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I don't come on Tuesday. So, getting myself together. Wednesday night, we'll get into picks for this weekend. Yeah. And, yeah. So thank you for coming. Definitely till we meet again.